My name is Councilwoman Katie Yaroslavsky. I have the privilege of serving as chair of the City Council's Budget and Finance Committee. Welcome to the first day of committee hearings on the mayor's proposed fiscal year 25-26 budget. This afternoon marks an important moment. For the first time in recent memory, we're starting the public process of our hearings right here in the San Fernando Valley at Van Nuys City Hall. We chose to start here because the Valley is a vital part of Los Angeles, and its voices deserve to be heard from the very beginning and at every step of the decision-making process. Over the next couple of weeks, this committee will review the mayor's proposal, hear from city departments, and gather public input to help shape the final budget we adopt in June. I'll be sharing my thoughts on the mayor's proposal when we begin departmental hearings next Tuesday, and my colleagues will have the opportunity to do the same. But today is about hearing from you, about what matters most in your communities, and what you want this budget to reflect. Because the decisions we make over the next few weeks should reflect the priorities of Angelenos across the city. As chair, my goal is to lead a process that's transparent, collaborative, and community-driven. To that end, I want to go over some logistics of our hearings. So this is a special meeting of the Budget and Finance Committee to hear and consider the mayor's proposed fiscal year 25-26 budget. As this is a single continuous meeting, there will be an allotted time for public comment today and Monday at LA City Hall, downtown. Each person will be given 1 minute for comment to allow for as many speakers as possible to share their thoughts. There is no general public comment. Since this is one continuous meeting, each person is allowed to give comment once. If you sign up twice, you will not be given additional time. At the end of each day, I will announce the hearing schedule and start times for the following day before going into recess. Thank you again for being here and for engaging in this really important dialogue. I look forward to a productive and thoughtful session. So now we will move to public comment. Mr. City Attorney, can you please read the instructions for how to give public comment?
Madam Chair, would you like me to call the roll for this meeting?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Here.
Councilmember Blumenfield.
Present.
Councilmember Hutt.
Here.
Councilmember McOsker.
Here.
Councilmember Hernandez. Absent. 4 members and a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've had a few folks walk in, so I'm going to reiterate some of the things that the chairwoman has mentioned already with regards to public comment. So again, there will be multiple opportunities for public comment, once today and once on Monday. You are only allowed to give public comment once because this is one continuous hearing. So if you speak today, then you will not be allowed to speak on Monday because it is one continuous meeting. As stated earlier, this is a special meeting, so there is no general public comment. So you will have 1 minute for the item, and that item is the budget. In order to help us make sure that we are being efficient with public comment and making sure that members of the public are not speaking more than once, we would ask that before we start your clock, that you state which name you signed up under, and that's so that staff can make sure that we are treating everyone the same and that people are not speaking multiple times. We will also be reading off names, and I would ask that you please wait until you hear your name read aloud before lining up on your right-hand side of the council chambers. If you require some type of special accommodation under the ADA, I would ask that you let the council sergeants know ahead of time so that they can let us know, and we will do our best that we can to accommodate that. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to call the first 5 to 10 names. Ask that you come up and queue up on this side of the room against the wall so folks can see. And then when the speaker is finishing, if you can start to come up because it's a bit of a walk. Yeah? Okay. Ada Murillo, Brittany Thorne, Estuardo Mazariegos, Jessica Bermejo, Trinity Tran, Stephanie Galloway, and Shannon Camacho.
And as we wait for the first speaker to come up, You do not need to line up in the order in which your name is called. I recognize that this is a full house, and there are people coming from all over the room. So as soon as you hear your name called, please feel free to line up in any order. Good afternoon. So if you could please let us know the name you signed up under.
Brittany Thorne. Thank you. In Los Angeles, nearly 60% of Angelinos own pets, and there's an estimated 11 million dogs and cats in our city who are beloved family members of the people of LA. Our pet population is almost 3 times more than our people population, and we know that behind every one of those 11 million pets are people who care about them in this city. Issues affecting our city's pets are issues that concern a majority of the people in this city, and we can say that about very few other issues. Budget reflects priority of city and mayor, and it should reflect priority of the public. Yet this proposed budget cuts 122 positions from LA Animal Services, which is a 33% reduction to an already underfunded department. The city of LA has the opportunity now to do right by our city's pets. We've seen remarkable and tangible progress and impact when the city invests in shelters, and we've seen our city's pets suffer when the city fails to do so. We need to invest in progress and not backtrack. We've seen the damage of what deprioritizing investment can do: longer length of stay, liability claims, and increased safety risks. This is an opportunity for the mayor to take the win.
So this is for everybody. Once you get to the podium, you don't have to wait for me to prompt you for your name. If you forget, no worries, then I will ask. But just please remind us of the name you signed up under, and then you can start speaking, and we will start your clock then. Thank you.
I'm Stephanie Galloway. I am the president and CEO of Valley Intercommunity Council. We are the largest senior center nonprofit organization inside San Fernando Valley, along with One Generation, and we are serving more seniors than you can imagine. We do case management for homebound. My nonprofit does over 1,000 meals a day, and we are the frontline runners that see when they have no family, who will be there? Do we need to call the police? What do? We give case management. Our transportation department gets them to dialysis, gets them when they lose their driver's license to where they need to be. Right now, they want to move and dissolve the Department of Aging and cut budgets. If there's anything that we need for these baby boomers, is more money. We have more seniors and a growing population that needs you guys more than ever. So please think about not taking away our money, but giving us more. That's it.
Good afternoon. I'm Trinity Tran, Executive Director of Public Bank LA, and I'm here in solidarity with city workers who are fighting to protect over 1,000 jobs. These are workers who fix our streets, who repair our sidewalks, who maintain the basic infrastructure that Angelinos depend on. And at the same time, the city of LA spends $3 million in interest and fees and sends over $1 billion in debt service annually to Wall Street banks. And these are funds that are being drained out of our communities, funds that could have saved the jobs and services on the line. So there is a better path, and that is to fund the public bank feasibility study. And that is a study that doesn't commit the city to creating a public bank. It creates a roadmap towards creating a bank, and it asks very crucial questions: how to save money, how to generate revenue, and keep public funds working for the city of Los Angeles. So we urge you to save city jobs, reinvest in our communities, and set a path forward to explore a public bank. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jessica Bermejo, a proud daughter of immigrants, a resident of South Central, and a constituent of CD9. I am here to urge the city to protect our immigrant Angelinos. Our communities are under attack. People are being detained without court orders, deported without due process, and living in fear. But for those of us with power and privilege, this is not the time for despair. It's time to act. These moments remind us that there's much work to do. Funding Represent LA and the day labor centers is how we act. These programs serve as the safety nets. They prevent wage theft, protect workers from abuse, and ensure our immigrant neighbors have the resources they deserve in the city they call home. The budget is a reflection of who we choose to protect. Immigrants, you said it. before, LA is a city of immigrants and has and will always welcome immigrants with open arms. No matter where we were born, how we came to this country, how you worship or who you love, Angelinos protect each other. That's who we are, and that's what our policies must reflect. The proposed budget allocates $0 to the day labor centers or Repele. Without these funds, our community members face deportation. That's what's at stake. Fund Represent LA and fund the state's labor centers. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to call some more names. Sherelle Cuneo, Rebecca Garcia, Mary Kimball, Megan Ortiz, Liz Herrera, Liz Carlin, Garnick, Elena Chavez, and Andrew Graebner.
Good afternoon. I'm Liz Herrera, CEO of El Nido Family Centers. El Nido is honored to operate the Pacoima and South LA Family Source Centers, 2 of the 19 Family Source centers strategically located in high-need communities throughout the city. 4 of those are here in the Valley. On behalf of the city's Family Source Centers network, I thank you for the continued support of our critically important work that has been at the forefront of preventing homelessness and providing upward mobility and academic achievement for over 50,000 of LA's most vulnerable youth and families each year. Nationally recognized, the Family Source Centers throughout the city share a common service delivery model that is performance-based and has a high level of accountability and fiscal management. We are fortunate to operate under the highly effective leadership of the city's Community Investment and Family Development Department, who we have a strong partnership with. The Family Source Centers have also been the city's go-to system during times of crisis. That was true during the pandemic when our staff became frontline workers operating throughout the pandemic, providing food and basic needs and funds to those most impacted, those low-income families. The homeless crisis, as well as the wildfires recently. We thank you for your support.
Rebecca Garcia. How can young voters believe that you have our best interest in mind while functionally eliminating the only department dedicated to them? Mayor Karen Bass has talked about how she wants to invest in the youth. 2 weeks ago, she attended a community cleanup that I was present at. I stood right behind her in frame as she spoke about the importance of creating a better world for future generations. And immediately afterwards, she proposes a budget that would functionally eliminate the youth development department. And I don't know if the mayor was lying when she spoke about the worth of my generation. I don't know if she sees us, the youth, as anything other than a beautiful backdrop for her public image. And to be fair, I don't know her true motivations. I cannot say if she is a liar, and I cannot say if her word is worth nothing. What I can ask is if you will be the same. Our president has already established that he is not on our side. Can we count on our local politicians to have our back? Can we count on you to step up and support us where others haven't? My generation is paying attention, and your vote will speak volumes, and I promise you, so will ours. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Cheryl Cuneo. I am both a Climate Reality Project member and a member of the Hollywood Dog Obedience Club. In the wake of the recent climate-accelerated fires, cuts to any and all climate-related budget items is short-sighted and destroys Los Angeles and California's claims to climate stewardship. As a crazy dog person, and there are a lot of us, cuts to animal services is a political death sentence, both to the animals and to politicians. The Animal Services deserves your support. Climate deserves your support. Please, no cuts to either of those. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Garnick, and I'm part of Valley Intercommunity Council, where my CEO just want to reiterate what she said. We're the largest nonprofit agency that support our seniors in our community. We really need this funding. Please don't cut our funding because it's very imperative. We get this funding from the City of LA, Department of Aging. Please don't cut our funding. Thank you.
Andrew Graydner, but you know that. So we have the, so this is not a participatory budgeting session. We need that. This is 2 days of comment. You can only speak on one day, and it's before anything of the mayor's budget is actually presented to this committee. And there needs to be call-in option, public comment throughout the city. So this budget is terrible that the mayor has proposed here. And it's all because, and we're seeing mass layoffs in departments that actually keep our communities safe and help to improve the community, you know, street services, you know, mental health, immigrant services, animal, you know, shelters, things like that. Also, we can give more money to the LAPD, this department that's bankrupting the city, and this police contract that's bankrupting the city. We had record finances just a few years ago. So defund and abolish the LAPD. Let's adopt the people's budget, LA.
My name is Elena. I'm an employment specialist at Hope, on behalf of Hope the Mission Day Labor Program. / phase down, not funds. Fund compounds, not cops. The city claims to be a sanitary, yet it's defunding the exact services and makes sanitary impossible. Our day labor centers will serve thousands, offering job connections, health access, and support services during crisis. The year we already helped over 1,000 members, 1,000 workers, and placed 30,000 jobs. These essential workers who stepped up during COVID cleaned up our streets and served our communities. Defunding these centers is a betrayal. It erases people's dignity and puts our lives at risk. Devuelvan los fondos ya. We won't be silent. We won't let this happen quietly.
Thank you. I'm going to call a few more names as you're coming up. Ana Herrera, Chico Ido, Courtney Cosio, Daniel Gus, Fidel Gonzalez, and Hugh Brockington.
Good afternoon, Megan Ortiz, Executive Director of IDEPSCA. We are the largest operator of the 5 of 7 official city day labor centers in the city of Los Angeles. The city day labor centers were started here in Los Angeles and were a model for the rest of the country. This was because day laborers are some of the most vulnerable immigrants who stand outside and are visible, looking to make their bread, their daily bread for their families, are always under attack. And they're under attack especially now. All we have to do is see what happened in Pomona earlier this week in terms of the detention of 15 to 20 day laborers outside of a Home Depot. Day labor centers are an alternative to this. They serve as public health centers, work source centers. This is where wildfire workers were trained and are continuing to clean up. We need to defend day laborers, not defund them. Thank you.
I'm one of the seniors at the Wilkinson Center and One Generation. What they're doing now, every day they have people going to the senior center. They rely on the every day. The food, the organization is perfect right now, but they're cutting this. You know how many aging people there are around this valley alone in LA? They need this fund. Every day, there's people that are worse off than me. They need this funding, not cut. More money. Not just LAPD, the fire department, everybody needs it. But they need this now, not cutting it. Thank you.
And before we begin with the next speaker, I just wanted to bring something to everyone's attention and make an announcement. My understanding is that there are other people who are waiting outside who would like the opportunity to speak. Obviously, you can see that this is a full house, that we'd like to hear from as many folks as possible. It might not be possible to hear from everyone, but in order to maximize the number of people that we hear from today, in addition to Monday, there are a couple requests for your consideration. Once you give your public comment, you don't have to leave, but if you are willing to exit the room and listen remotely, then that does help us with the capacity issues and potentially allow other people to come in to speak. If you're not able to speak either today or on Monday, there are always written options as well at lacouncilcomment.com. And again, we appreciate your patience and your assistance with this. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Liz Carlin, and I was one of those hundreds of people that was outside this morning. I'm with EAA Labor Union, and I'm here to be on the record to talk about the proposed layoffs that are going to affect hundreds of people in the analyst series throughout the city. They manage the budgets, they track contracts, they maintain compliance, and they ensure departments have what they need to adequately serve our public, the people that voted for us. They're behind the scenes balancing the budgets, audits, doing public records, and creating efficiency and innovative solutions. Cutting our analyst work doesn't just slow down the paperwork, it breaks the system. And that's the system that keeps departments accountable. These cuts are being advertised as a way to save money, but getting the people who prevent waste and delays and lawsuits only cut will harm the city even more. The workers who serve our city and the duties of EAA members perform, we deserve more, and we ask for your respect and your consideration. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Courtney Cozio, and I'm with EAA Union. Every day, EAA members who are environmental compliance inspectors report to the field, collecting hazardous waste and biohazards from homeless encampments, needles, chemicals, contaminated materials, things that pose serious risk to public health and safety. This is not easy work, but they do it with care, compassion, and professionalism. Their work is essential for the well-being of communities, especially in areas near schools, parks, and neighborhoods. Laying off these workers creates a real danger. Hazards don't disappear because the budget's tight. They pile up, and communities suffer. Who made this decision and why? It puts us all at risk. We urge you to change this decision. Keep our communities safe. Keep environmental health a priority. Thank you for listening.
Hi, Daniel Gustad, Substack.com. I have a story out today about animal services. You don't need to cut $5 million from the budget. You could cut $10 million. You could cut $15 million. And you could do a hell of a lot better. You could do a hell of a lot better if you started listening to the people who actually handle the animals in the front lines and the pounds. The volunteers who are retaliated against for speaking up. And the animal rescue groups. I started writing about corruption elsewhere in the city because Herb Wesson and Ron Galperin and Paul Koretz rigged an audit. You have Jackie Hamilton, this troll, influencing and twisting arms. You have media lies. And may I remind you that last June, you paid $7.5 million for one fuck up at LA Animal Services where a woman lost her arms, $7.5 million. But you got rid of Kathy Reardon. You got rid of Marie Atake. You have no thriving spay-neuter program or enforcement. Work with me, put it under the LAPD. You do a hell of a lot better for a lot less money.
I'm going to call some additional names while you're coming up, sir. Hiroki Matsuda, Matusta, Hugh Brockington, Jane Brennan, Jennifer Naitaki, Judy Ray, Larry Gates, Loretta Lorraine. Please go ahead, sir.
Muy buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Fidel González.
Good afternoon. My name is Fidel González.
Soy jornalero del centro de Carecen.
I'm a laborer of Centro. ¿Centro qué, señor, diga?
Centro de Carecen.
Centro de Carecen.
Vivo en Los Ángeles.
I live in Los Angeles.
Vine de mi país a trabajar,
I came from my country to work,
a estudiar, a contribuir a este país.
to study, to contribute to this country.
Pago impuestos cada año.
I pay taxes every year.
Les pido que aprueben un presupuesto
I ask you to approve a budget
que sea realmente para la comunidad,
that should be really for the community,
con fondos para los servicios y recursos de todos,
with funds for services and
Todos
resources for everyone
que todos merecemos.
that we all deserve.
Los jornaleros ayudamos con la limpieza
The laborers, we help with the cleaning
tras los incendios de enero
behind the fires of January.
en los parques y con la distribución de pañales,
In the parks and the distribution of diapers,
comida, juguetes
food, toys,
y hacemos mucho por esta ciudad.
and we do so much for this city.
Como trabajadores inmigrantes,
As immigrant workers,
también somos parte de esta comunidad.
we're also part of this community.
Pedimos un presupuesto con
We're-
fondos para los
We're asking for a
centros
budget
jornaleros.
with funds for these
Muchísimas gracias.
laborers. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Chico Ida. I'm member of the Wilkinson Senior Center in Northridge. And the senior will getting more support, needed support. And then that means we can save the seniors from isolation and they're also getting more the friend and then health, keep it healthy, and then getting more friendship, and then that means save health budget cut. So it's very hard to explain, but please support the seniors. Thank you.
Hey, what's up? I'm Miss Loretta Lorraine. I am the diamond piece of Trans Latina. I'm here representing the transgender community, also Miss Bambi Lucido. And I love our community. And I'm here to tell you that y'all need to put more funds on the transgender community because a lot of them are dying. We just had one murder right there on San Fernando Road. A lot of our girls are being murdered, being bashed, black, white, or whatever, even the young youth. I'm here, I'm old, I'm already, if you look at, I'm on YouTube right now. I have a documentary, it's called Citizen Resistant, Diamond Resistant. And I've always been here for my community. And I'm gonna continue coming till then when I'm gone, I'm gone. But I really need y'all to put those funds for those, to keep safety for the transgender community because a lot of them are going through a lot of things. And she knows over there. Okay, God bless you all, and I hope that y'all can continue.
May I start?
Go ahead. Yes. So as a reminder.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Hiroki Matsuda, and I have been with the Department of City Planning as a Geographic Information System Specialist for about 10 years. Yes. And our works have helped inform decision regarding housing, transportation, zoning, land use, and environmental justice. And behind every development, just like affordable housing or traffic study, there's a GIS behind it. So GIS is a background of modern city planning. So cutting those pollution is likely trying to build a house without a blueprint. So please reconsider to cut positions. And thank you very much. It's time.
Good afternoon, council members. I'm Jen Naitaki with Michelson Found Animals. Animal Services is one of the most visible and emotionally resonant departments in any city, especially Los Angeles. I'm sure many of the calls your offices receive each week involve animal welfare. And yet, this critical department receives less than 1% of the city's total budget, 0.7% to be exact. We live in what many consider the greatest city in the world, yet our shelter system remains one of the most underfunded in the country. Each year, 42,000 lives hang in the balance, and a $30 million budget, or the currently proposed $25 million, is simply not enough. We respectfully urge this committee not only to reallocate the $5 million from the UB fund, but to go further to meaningfully increase animal services' overall budget. It's not just about the animals, it's about the Angelinos who rely on them every day. And I'd just like to close with how a city treats its animals reflects its values. And is this the story that we want Los Angeles to tell? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jana Brennan, and I'm with Michelson Found Animals. I've spoken at many council meetings about the dire need for spay and neuter funding, and today I urge the council to prioritize this critical investment as a commitment to the health, safety, and humane future of Los Angeles. Failing to invest in spay and neuter is a missed opportunity for this council. 57% of Los Angeles households own pets, and even those who don't are often called upon to feed, trap, and provide care for unwanted animals because the need is so high, particularly in underserved communities without access to spay and neuter. When global events like the World Cup and the Olympics are hosted here, the world's eyes will be on us. 1 to 3 years is not nearly enough time to showcase Los Angeles' compassionate and responsible leadership unless we take action now. Past host cities have faced international outrage due to misguided attempts at clearing their streets and shelters of unwanted animals, but Los Angeles can and will do better. Very few items in the budget will create such an impact with such a small investment. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Larry Gates. I'm the president of ASME 3090, representing 6,000 clerical and support staff of employees. Here we go again. Every 3 to 5 years or so, Los Angeles finds itself in a financial bind, and once again, the hardworking civilian workforce is being asked to foot the bill. Local 3090 makes up approximately 20 to 25% of all layoffs proposed. There are 150 civilian employees within LAPD slated to be laid off. These positions are just as critical as having officers in the field. That work will still need to be done. Who will do it? Sworn? Having sworn police officers make 2 to 3 times more than admin staff is anything but cost-saving measure. Bureau of Street Services could potentially lose 35 employees. Again, who will do this work? We are already asking city employees to do more with less. We had extreme high vacancy rates prior to the budget, and with the World Cup and the Olympics coming to LA, is cutting jobs within street services the best idea?
So, Speaker, your time has expired. I understand, everyone, that the time can go by rather quickly, but as you can see, there's a lot of people here. If you were unable to finish your comments during the oral comment period, you are more than welcome to add to that via in writing at lacouncilcomment.com. Thank you. Next speaker.
No. Can I finish?
You got like one sentence to wrap
Fine.
up. Because we have to
Well, I
start
understand the
everything.
gravity of our situation. I'm urging reconsider the numbers proposed. We were told that the city was nearly $1 billion in
Okay,
debt.
Speaker, we have to treat everyone fairly. So again, before the next speaker comes up, really appreciate everybody's patience on this. Again, there are a lot of folks here, so certainly we're not trying to curtail anyone's comment unnecessarily, but we want to make sure we get through as many speakers as we can. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Judy Ray, and I'm a proud baby boomer. 1 minute I was 25, and then suddenly I'm 77. And I'm keenly aware that millions of seniors have found themselves alone, feeling isolated, forgotten, incredibly lonely, depressed, helpless, and despondent. Many don't have family, and many of their friends are passing away. So many are on fixed incomes and can barely make ends meet. Many, even those who worked all their adult lives and have done all the right things, have found themselves in dire straits, never imagining that it would happen to them. It's humiliating, demoralizing, negatively affecting their self-worth. Senior centers and their programs are truly lifesavers to countless seniors who might literally perish without them. They provide multiple critically needed services that transform and uplift so many lives, from meals to companionship to medical and legal support services, educational programs. I most passionately urge you to reconsider making these potentially devastating cuts to such critical seniors in need.
Okay, Alexa Vasquez, Betty Barberena, Beverly Roberts, Brian Chun, Courtney Lurie, David Summers, Elizabeth Jimenez, Gloria S., Jacqueline Sonderling, Jay Handel. If I called your name, please come up.
Good afternoon. I'm Jacqueline Sonderling. For the last 8 years or so, I've taken things to several homeless encampments in Hollywood. Sweaters, jackets, blankets, sheets, clothing, toiletries, water, and food. I'd often bake for them throughout the year, but especially on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. I didn't want anyone to feel like nameless, faceless people forgotten while everybody else celebrated. I wanted them to know that somebody cared. On Christmas 2023, I loaded up my car with holiday muffins and headed off to the first encampment. It was gone. No sign that anybody had ever been there. I thought, wow, I hope they're inside someplace warm, someplace safe. I headed off to the next encampment. Same story. I went to several others that I knew. They were all gone. I drove around for about half an hour before I finally found one man on his own. Gave him about 24 muffins. Another few blocks, I found another 3 people. Gave them the rest of the muffins. 2023 was the last time that I baked for the homeless. Last time I took food to the homeless encampments. Please, please continue to fund Inside Safe.
Thank you. Thank you. Just a reminder, everybody gets 1 minute. And also, folks, if you've already spoken and are willing to give up your seat and go so someone can come in from outside, there are about 100 people lined up hoping to come in so that they can speak. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Jay Handel, and I'm the co-chair of the Neighborhood Council Budget Advocates. Thank you for having us. First, I want to say to the chair, you had a meeting the other night, and I do envy you and your positions, because quite frankly, this is an opportunity for the city to finally get on the right track. We've been doing this. I've been on the budget committee for 17 years, and I happen to be there every time there's a problem. So this is your opportunity to make change. What I would say to the general public and everybody, the budget advocates will be holding a webinar Tuesday night at 6:30. You can go to budgetadvocates.com if you want to have your voices heard, because budget equals services. You don't have budget, you don't have services. People need to pay attention. And then our budget day is the 21st of June. Everybody is invited. And thank you. You're having us on, I believe, Monday at 4 o'clock. The budget advocates will do a full presentation. So thank you very much for everything you guys are trying to do for us anyway. Thank you.
Good afternoon, council people. My name is Courtney Schoenwald. I've been with the planning department for about 15 years. My recent work has been updating policies that have been very effective at helping businesses along Ventura Boulevard, and we are currently working to increase the housing capacity for places in the valley. Cuts to our department are going to have serious impacts to the business community and to the housing that we can produce in the city. So please consider other options than layoffs. The city needs our department to move these issues forward. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Chun. I live in Council District 2. I'm a planner with the Department of City Planning and a proud member of the EAA Union. Over the past 3 years, I've been honored to serve this city by working on the Van Nuys North Sherman Oaks Community Plan Update, which will increase housing capacity and affordable housing opportunities alongside other much-needed improvements in the plan area. The mayor's proposed layoffs would eliminate my position, a decision that not only jeopardizes my family's livelihood, but also undermines the essential planning work that helps our city grow and thrive. Los Angeles is facing a severe housing crisis, an issue we're all committed to solving, but without dedicated city planners to help identify where and how new housing can be built, we risk escalating the very problem we seek to fix. These cuts would directly contradict the mayor's housing goals and the needs of Angelenos. I urge you to reject these layoffs and protect the positions that are vital to addressing one of Los Angeles' greatest challenges. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Alexa Vasquez, and I'm a resident of Los Angeles, and I live in CD6. I am a planning assistant with the Department of City Planning, and I am part of a team that is working to update land use and zoning here in the San Fernando Valley. With that, our goals are to create more affordable housing, which we know is a big issue right now. Also to provide more open space. We know that the valley is extremely hot and we need more places for people to congregate that are safe. We also are building connections to transit and providing more jobs with the work that we do. These are goals that directly align with the mayor's objectives and policies, or at least it sounds like they are, if that's her direction. With the mayor's proposed budget, and if it's approved the way it is, our work programs will end, and that will perpetuate decades of harmful planning practices that we are trying to correct. We planners live, oops, thank you.
My name is Elizabeth Jimenez. I am a Valley Community Planner for LA City Planning. I've been with the city and an EAA union member for 3 years. The project that I work on is updating land use and zoning around the upcoming East San Fernando Valley Light Rail Train, which is a major transit investment coming to the valley. And the proposed budget, as it's proposed, would risk this project coming to a halt. On a personal level, I am a new mother, and these layoffs would have caused severe hardship for my family. But I'm also a public servant, and I care deeply about serving the residents of the valley, and it would be a disservice to the residents of the San Fernando Valley if this project would come to a halt, because the planning department has not had any investment in these communities in over 30 years. I urge the city council to support city workers and support affordable housing planning efforts. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Betty. Oh, is it starting? Okay. Hello, my name is Betty Barbarina, and I'm a city planner with the City of Los Angeles and also a very proud EAA union member. I proudly serve the city I was born and raised in, and am currently working in the community plan updates covering the Southwest Valley region of LA. My team is working to ensure that the varying housing, employment, transportation, and economic needs and interests of every resident in the Southwest Valley is met well beyond 2050. The mayor's proposed layoffs would eliminate vital positions in the LA City Planning Department, the department vital to the democratic, smart, and equitable development and economic stability of our city that no AI program can ever achieve or replace. The mayor's proposed budget threatens my colleagues' livelihoods and the very services that make this city the economic engine of California. I therefore urge you to reject these unreasonable and very dangerous cuts proposed by the mayor. Thank you.
My name is David Summers. I'm a board member of the Engineers and Architects Association, and I also work for the Department of Transportation. This budget has a unique and disproportionate impact on our members and the work that we do for the city. They're not often the ones that your constituents see, except for the planners often, but they're like your management analysts who are the mediators of our contracting processes. So who's contracting? How are we even going to contract services without a management analyst being able to navigate the complex processes? They collect, I got a management analyst that collects $90 million in revenue from Metro for our operate our transit services every day. Do we know if they're going to be off their job? What about the millions of dollars that we get from FTA? $15 million of formula allocation funds that is done through a management analyst because they know the complex processes. This budget is really dangerous in the sense it doesn't really understand the circumstances and the liabilities and payouts that could happen from our members not being on the job. Planners are the mediators of our future, and they should be on the job. Thanks.
Hello, thank you. My name is Abdullah Muhammad, and I must say something. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. We cannot continue to balance the budget off of money that's already earmarked for organizations in the city of Los Angeles that's doing the work the city does not do. because you're destroying the city. And I'm here to talk about the $460,000 was taken from the budget last year by Kokorian that was earmarked for a feasibility study for a community bank. And we want that money put back in the budget to do the job it was supposed to do with the feasibility study for a public bank in the city of LA. I'm in District 8, border District 9. That's a dirty ass community. It is nasty. Trash everywhere, sit there for days, weeks, don't pick it up. So why are you gonna cut the budget? And we need all the services that we could get. We don't need to lay off 1,600. We need to hire 3,000 people to keep the city in the condition that it's supposed to be in the city of LA. Now,
Speaker, your time has expired. So, Speaker, respectfully, your time has expired again. We want to hear from as many folks as possible, so if you could stay as close to the 1 minute as possible, and we will have to let you know that your time has expired. I believe we have one more. Yes, go ahead.
My name is Beverly Roberts, and I'm chair of the Home Defenders League and a member of ACE Action. And I also want to say I live in the county, and I've lived there for 38 years. The light has been out for most of that time in the alley. I live off of an alley. I keep calling, they tell me they're going to fix. It's that kind of, I started to say a bad word. It's that kind of stuff that is happening in my neighborhood. So we've got to do things to make things work for us poor folks. Right. And we need to fund the public bank study. We need that for loans and whatnot. We also need Wall Street. Well, Wall Street is extracting $1.4
billion.
$1.4 billion in debt service fees every year. Our city deficit is $1 billion. Do not cut thousands of good city jobs. Fund the public bank feasibility study.
Right up.
I'm going to call some more names. Alana Klein, Brenda Magid, Christina Flores, Edmundo Mejia, Eric Felix, Eric Sotelo, Ivania Sanchez, Jenna House, and Jorge Nicholas.
Good afternoon, council members. I'm Brenna Magid, Chief Program Officer for Rainbow Services. Rainbow provides emergency and transitional shelter for domestic violence victims. In our emergency shelter, we offer 31 beds and 4 cribs. Our transitional shelter has 40 beds and 2 cribs. During fiscal year 2024, 60% of those we sheltered were children. When a DV victim arrives at our shelter, we don't just offer free shelter or free food. We also offer supportive services such as free case management, legal services, permanent housing placements, so that families can overcome barriers to safety and self-sufficiency. Shelters are more than just temporary spaces, they are lifelines. These services I mentioned are crucial for recovery. We urge you to fully fund CIFD, survivor services, and restore critical funding for gender-based violence programs, because survivors deserve the opportunity to rebuild their lives. Thank you.
Hi there. My name is Alana Klein. I work at Community Animal Medicine Project, also known as CAMP, the city's largest provider of spay and neuter services. LA Times recently reported that there is a 72% increase in dog and cat euthanasia from 2023 to 2024, underscoring our city's overpopulation and euthanasia crisis. It is the law for any dog or cat over 4 months old to be sterilized, but unfortunately many families cannot afford this surgery. LA solved this problem by offering a spay and neuter voucher program to low-income families, but the voucher rate has been static since 2015, while surgery costs have continued to rise. It costs the city $40 per day per animal to live in an LA shelter. Let's take South LA Shelter. The city spends about $12,000 per day to care for these animals, more than $4 million per year. Multiply that across all 6 city shelters. Fully funding the spay and neuter voucher program in the way we and our fellow advocates are recommending will not only have an immediate impact on animal welfare citywide, but is also a financial investment that makes sense for our city and taxpayers.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Edmundo Mejía.
And my name is Segundo Mejia.
Soy residente de Los Ángeles
I'm a resident of Los Angeles,
y soy miembro de Carecen.
and I'm a member of Carson.
Para mí es muy importante tener el programa que representa a Los Ángeles
To me, it's very important to have a program that represents Los Angeles,
para que la comunidad inmigrante tenga un respaldo cuando están en situaciones de
so
deportación.
that the immigrant community can have protection when they are in situations of deportation.
Especialmente durante
Especially.
este tiempo cuando son más vulnerables
Especially during this time when they were most vulnerable
los ataques del gobierno federal.
from the attacks of the government, federal government.
Es por eso que aquí estamos para pedir que den un presupuesto de $4 millones.
That's why we're here to ask that you provide a budget of $4 million
para programas que representan a Los Ángeles.
for programs that represent Los Angeles.
Por favor, ayúdenos a ayudar. Gracias.
Please help us to help. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jorge Nicolás, and I'm here on behalf of Carecen, the Central American Resource Center, to strongly support the day labor program. In the proposed budget, there is currently $0 allocated for the day labor program. We demand that the City of Los Angeles take swift action to restore funding to the day labor program. This program was created in Los Angeles with the purpose to address discrimination and exploitation, and it has become a beacon of light in times of darkness. Assisting us in rapid responses during the pandemic, wildfires, and now, amid ongoing attacks on our families from the federal government, it has provided safety, dignity, and opportunity for some of our city's most vulnerable residents. When we provide funding for the day labor program, we stand for justice, resilience, and compassion. Please continue to support this valuable and essential resource. Thank you.
Hello, Christina Flores, EAA member. Good afternoon, council members. I urge you to reconsider the proposed layoffs of LAPD civilian staff. Yes, our department needs restructuring, but this is not the way to do it. The chief has already warned that eliminating civilian roles will force sworn officers to backfill our positions. That's counterproductive, especially as the city continues investing in recruiting those same officers. We've seen this before. The result is always fewer officers in the field doing the work they were hired to do. I also urge you to take a closer look at the internal structure of the LAPD and across departments citywide. While frontline staff face cuts, many departments continue to carry bloated management structures and high executive salaries. A thoughtful audit of those top-heavy areas could create real savings without compromising services. Let's structure wisely, not reactively. Also, I wanted to give kudos to Councilmember Hernandez. Thank you for always being supportive of animal services, dear to my heart. And I look forward to your adoption event tomorrow. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Eric Sotelo from LA City Fire Department Supply and Maintenance Division. I am also on the MOU 14 bargaining team. I am here to go ahead and let council know that the proposal that was brought forward by the mayor is unacceptable. The basic infrastructure that our mechanics across the city, as well as basic service that we provide, is already fractured. You're looking at removing 1,600 positions and possibly more. That basic infrastructure is what supplies the city's needs. And since I live in that district and I'm at threat of losing my position, then that means that I could possibly be homeless, on top of not being able to pay my taxes, which actually help the community. So I urge you, please, look into other avenues. This is not what needs to happen. Thank you very much for your time.
Hi, I'm Ivania. I'm here on behalf of our day labor program at Hope the Mission. I work with day laborers every day, men and women who show up rain or shine and are willing to work hard and support their families. Our centers are safe places offering jobs, health referrals, housing help, and connections. This year alone, we've helped over 1,000 individuals, placed 30,000 jobs, and offered 68,000 services. These are essential workers, but they are being treated as disposable. Cutting funding to our day labor centers doesn't just cut our services, it cuts hope. We urge you to restore funding and protect the people who make the city run. Manos fuera de los jornaleros, fund the centers, fund the people. Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Eric Felix, and I'm a resident of CD14, a lifelong Angelino born and raised in CD15, and a planning assistant with the Department of City Planning. My work involves applying the new zoning code to encourage mixed-use neighborhoods around key Metro G-line stations in the San Fernando Valley, including areas around Van Nuys City Hall, which, according to the state, is a high poverty and segregated area. Our goal is to facilitate more affordable housing in the valley, but the current proposed budget directly threatens that. I urge the committee to reject the layoffs in the proposed budget so that myself and my colleagues can continue to address the city's housing crisis and the needs of our neighbors. Thank you.
I'm going to call some more names before you come up, please. Crystal Hernandez, Juliana Herrera, Joe Martinez, Jan Feiner, Jack Moreau, Diana Escamilla, David Malakyar, and Chichi Navarro. Thank you. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Jenna House. I am the president and CEO of One Generation and the state representative of the National Institute of Senior Centers and National Council on Aging. Last month, the federal government eliminated the Administration on Community Living, stripping aging services like home-delivered meals, senior centers, and case management from dedicated oversight. We were deeply concerned, but we believe that at least our city would never do the same. Now, our mayor has proposed a nearly identical plan, eliminating the Department of Aging and moving all senior services under a broader department with no leader focused solely on aging. This would erase decades of age-friendly progress and diminish the voices of one of our city's most vulnerable and fastest-growing populations. By 2030, in less than 5 years, 1 in 4 Angelinos will be an older adult. We need more, not less, but more representation and leadership to meet these growing needs. Removing this department means less visibility, less access, and greater strain on our other city services. So I urge you, please do not eliminate our voice for older adults. Thank you.
Good afternoon, LA City Council. My name is Diana Escamilla, and I'm a resident of LA City. I am here to show my strong support for Represent LA program and ask that you fund it at $4 million. This need comes at a time when the Trump administration's executive orders have made it priority to bring harm to the immigrant community, specifically funding deportation efforts while gutting immigration legal services. Given this climate, Represent LA work is critical to ensure due process for the immigrant community in Los Angeles. Additionally, I would like to speak on my strong support for day labor centers. In the current proposed budget, there are $0 allocated for the centers. We demand that the city of LA take swift action to restore funding to day labor centers. If you haven't already, I invite you to visit one of the centers so you can see for yourself how essential they are to the community and not just the workers. Day labor centers create thriving ecosystems. Fund day labor centers to be proactive, not reactive, at keeping community members employed and housed. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Crystal and I'm the Director of Inside Safe with Hope the Mission. I stand before you to discuss a vital issue affecting our community, the ongoing housing crisis and the fate of Inside Safe. Over my past year with Hope, our program has successfully housed around 100 individuals who were once struggling with homelessness. However, we are facing a pressing challenge. There are many pending housing approvals from those in desperate need of housing and support. Shutting down our program now would not only halt our progress, but would also intensify the crisis in our community. Inside Safe is not merely about providing a roof over someone's head. Our program offers much more. We provide essential job resources, empowering participants with skills and opportunities to gain employment. Most importantly, we provide housing services which gives participants the opportunity at a forever home. In conclusion, I urge you all to consider the impact of your decisions on the lives of our community members and participants. Let us work together to ensure that the Inside Safe program continues to thrive. Thank you.
Good afternoon, community members. My name is Juliana Herrera, and I'm speaking today as a nonprofit founder, veterinary technician, and concerned resident to respectfully request an increase in funding for spay-neuter vouchers. These vouchers are a vital component in controlling our animal overpopulation, which, as we are well aware, is already a severe crisis. This initiative humanely assists both owned and unowned animal populations, as well as supports well-intentioned community members who responsibly spay and neuter their companion animals. Vouchers also assist those of us who dedicate our personal time, energy, and financial resources to help free-roaming, unowned community cats. With the community cat population estimated between 1 to 3 million in Los Angeles, these vouchers are crucial in assisting these animal populations, as well as enabling veterinary clinics to continue providing spay and neuter services for these vulnerable populations. With the current cost of veterinary care rising, many citizens depend on these vouchers to afford these essential procedures. Thank you for your time, attention, and consideration.
Good afternoon, council people, members. My name is Joe Martinez. I'm an SEIU member, 721, a city worker for over 30 years. We are here in support of fully funding public banking feasibility study, which City Council approved but failed to fund last year. This year, the city faces severe funding shortfalls. The mayor's proposed budget will cut over 1,000 city jobs. Those cuts mean that the layoffs of these workers who fix street sidewalks and respond to emergencies, these services cuts will lead to reductions, if not eliminate, of the essential public services, while our residents will suffer further cuts to street, parks, libraries, and other safety structures. We ask you, reconsider this. We're top heavy at City Hall. Management took an 11% raise prior to giving the city workers the last contract. Why are we not looking at top heavy? We load them up first and then the bottom people, which are the people who vote for you.
Good afternoon, honorable members. My name is David Malikiar, and I am here on behalf of the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, or CHIRLA. I want to thank Mayor Karen Bass and her leadership for the commitment to protecting all Angelenos. Over 1.35 million immigrants call Los Angeles City their home, including myself. Thank you for the council members who have prioritized making it loud and clear that we belong. Thank you, council members Hernandez, Soto Martinez, Padilla, amongst others. For years, immigrants have bravely raised their voices to draw attention to the gaps in community services. Their tenacity and spirit have been invaluable as they fought for access to city resources. Despite the challenges that arise from underrepresentation, we've made remarkable strides, but there is yet a lot more work to be done, and that can be done. In this political climate, Mayor Karen Bass and members of the City Council have the responsibility to protect our due process. We urge you to continue funding
Speaker, your time has expired. We have to move on to the next speaker.
Okay, I'm going to call some additional names before the next speaker comes up. Willa Cutolo, Zoe Niddle, Yaritza Gonzalez, Tom Quiche, Stephanie Galloway, Mina Garcia, Marlene Fonseca, Lori Resnick, and Leslie Amaya Yanez.
Chairwoman.
Yes.
Can we just make another announcement for folks if they are?
Oh, yeah. If you have already spoken and you are willing to give up your seat and leave so that some of the dozens and dozens of people outside who would like to give public comment can come in and have a chance to do so, we would be super grateful for that. And we appreciate you being here today. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Jack Moreau. I'm a supervising transportation planner with LADOT. I manage a small team of transportation planning associates, and in a nutshell, our team designs and builds protected bike lanes, pedestrian improvements, and bus improvements throughout the city. You might be familiar with some of our projects on Westwood Boulevard, on Spring Street, Alameda Street, Sunset Boulevard, Marmion Way. Our team was some of the most recently hired and so they'd be the first to be let go. If our team were to be let go, those projects in your districts wouldn't be able to proceed. So I think I'm here to ask today that you consider amending the budget to include the positions that can deliver on the promises and safety improvements that the city residents expect and deserve. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jan, 84 years old. Joining the Van Nuys Sherman Oaks Park Senior Center a year and a half ago was a lifesaver for me. Before that, I was a lonely widow sitting at home watching too much television. At the center, I felt like an interesting person, getting socialization and mental stimulation among other interesting people in a warm, friendly, safe environment. Every race, religion, ethnicity, and opinion is represented and welcomed and given many choices of activities. Everyone is different, but in many ways the same, craving companionship and broadened interests, each feeling like a vital, valued individual at a senior center, an asset to the community. The many services a senior center provides can be essential for the many seniors who no longer drive and can use the center's shuttle, can partake of the lunches provided to help with grocery bills, and can choose among classes, groups, and field trips. And the senior centers matter, and so do we.
Go ahead. So just if you could remind us of the name that you signed up under, and then you can go ahead and start.
Great. I'm Zoe Natel with the Community Animal Medicine Project. CAMP is a nonprofit veterinary organization and the city's largest provider of spay and neuter, sterilizing 334,000 cats and dogs since 2007. Accessible spay and neuter is essential to curb our shelter overcrowding crisis, but spay neuter voucher rates have been frozen since 2015. Surgery costs have soared, and the number of vets accepting city vouchers has dropped from 85 to just 29 because they can't afford to accept obsolete rates. Without adopting the full voucher increase, our city will be trapped in a vicious cycle. Families can't afford spay neuter, veterinarians can't afford to help, and avoidable euthanasia of pets in shelters. Investing in spay neuter saves lives and taxpayer money. On behalf of CAMP and the 20 vets we're representing today, please consider this appropriation and make an immediate positive impact on families, dogs, and cats in the city.
And Speaker, before you leave the podium, can you just repeat the name you signed up under one more time? We're trying to keep track so we know who's spoken and who hasn't. Go ahead.
Zoe Natel
Thank you so
from the
much.
Community Animal Medicine Project. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Tom Quiche. I'm speaking as an individual in my own individual capacity. Please do not cut any funding for animal services. Yes, have more efficiency. Remove toxicity, root out bad apples. Say so long to sloths. Be better. Hit reset, reboot, restructure, spend wiser, but do not do less. Ironically, since 2017, the only 2 times I've seen the system not underwater were COVID-19 and the January 25 fires. If I were in charge of a ship that was constantly sinking, I would fix it. I would get rid of the rot, the shipworms, and the termites. I would not spend less. Do more. More spay and neutering, enforcement, accountability, and outreach. The upcoming Olympics will put the world's eyes on Los Angeles. Fix this problem now to avoid global embarrassment later. Do not make it worse. Please, do not cut funding to spay and neuter programs or animal services. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Yaritza Gonzalez, and I'm here on behalf of CARECEN, the Central American Resource Center, to urge you to continue to fund essential programs and services like the Represent LA program and the Day Labor Center services. In the proposed budget, there is currently $0 for the day labor centers. We demand that the City of LA take swift action to restore funding to the day labor centers. As a legal service provider, CARECEN supports the immigrant community through programs like Represent LA, which funds critical legal services. It is crucial that the City of LA fund Represent LA to meet the increased demand for legal services, especially given that the current administration has already attempted to cut off funding for federally funded legal services programs, including the legal orientation programs at LA area detention centers and the Immigration Court Help Desk in Los Angeles. Also, since the late 1980s, protecting workers' rights has been in the DNA of the city of LA, and as such, we must continue to support the day labor centers. Caresen manages our day labor center, which helps provide protections against wage theft, as well as other resources that are safety nets and lifelines for our immigrant community. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mayna Garcia. I have a speech impediment, y'all, so it's okay. All right. First of all, I want to say thank you very much for hearing us all out here. I know there's a lot of inquiries and demands, and I'm very empathetic to you guys on the other end because it's a lot. We all are asking for something. However, I am here to represent Hope the Mission because we too are very empathetic to the clients that we serve. So having said that, for the job center / the day labor program, these centers are so much more than job sites. They are places of hope, connection, and dignity for immigrant workers who often face enormous barriers. Excuse me. This year alone, we've served over 1,000 individuals, helped place 30,000 jobs. Those are 30,000 jobs. That makes you guys look so good, right? And delivered 68,000 supportive services like housing help, health care referrals, and etc. Please help us out here. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Leslie Amaya Yanez, and I am the Public Affairs and Advocacy Manager at the Michelson Found Animals Foundation. As my colleagues have already stated, our team has consistently spoken before the City Council to advocate for crucial issues, from increasing the spay-neuter voucher amount to ensuring the safety and well-being of people and their pets in the aftermath of the January wildfires, and of course for the thousands of animals that come through the Los Angeles animal shelters. We are acutely aware of the devastating state of the city's budget this year, but reducing an already insufficient budget to a department that has been struggling for years will have irreversible consequences. The Los Angeles Animal Services Department has already been operating under severe staffing shortages. Cutting nearly 60 positions would not only increase the strain on the department and its remaining staff, it will result in tragic and avoidable loss of animal lives. Our city can and should do better. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lori Resnick, and I'm the Director of Special Grants at One Generation, a multi-purpose senior center in the San Fernando Valley. Folding the LA Department of Aging Services and programs into the CIFD is a mistake that will further impact the funds and services to this vulnerable population. We need a standalone agency that specifically oversees and maintains general funds, as well as supports and advocates for the needs of older adults in our community. I urge you not to eliminate the Department of Aging. Thank you.
Marlene Fonseca, Executive Director, EAA Union, who are 20% of your civilian workforce, and 30% of our jobs are on the chopping block. I'm sorry? Excuse me. The layoffs target city planners who advance housing, environmental inspectors who clean hazardous waste from the streets, forensic print and crime scene photographers who collect and preserve critical evidence, transportation staff who improve public safety, and analysts whose data-driven insights make this city smarter, faster, and more equitable. We're not just extras in this production. We are essential to LA's progress, safety, and Olympic readiness. These cuts put lives, services, and your goals at risk. And there will be no savings with skyrocketing LAPD overtime, backlogs to solving crime, legal exposures, and stalled programs. These are potentially permanent decisions with no impact analysis performed. They're rushed, opaque, reckless, no accountability for who made them and what criteria was used. Do better. You can't build a better Los Angeles without the employees who improve it. Thank you.
We need to move on to the next speaker. Thank you.
All right, before you speak, give me 1 sec, okay? So for folks who came in and sat down at the very beginning of this hearing and have been sitting here waiting for your chance to speak, if you can, about 10 at a time, come up, because we don't have any way of knowing. There's no order here. It's all alpha. So just 10. Don't all do it. And then once that's done, just sort of come up. so that if you're first in, you should get your chance. Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead.
All right. Hi there. My name is Will Catolo, and I can't help but feel heartbroken standing in this room today. I see so many people all over Los Angeles rendering essential services that are vital to our city with minimal to no support from our local government. We're out here fighting horizontally, trying to determine which cause needs more money. But whether it's climate resilience, animal welfare, civilian workforces, keeping city employees employed so that they can continue rendering essential services to our communities, we're all struggling with the same issue. And there's one way to remedy all of these things, and that's more money. One way the city can do that, which it approved to at least explore last year, is with the public bank. I'm here today to please urge the city council to reinstate the $460,000 that it approved to fund this feasibility study and provide a roadmap for Los Angeles to make money off its own balance sheet. Please fund the public bank. Help us all out. Thank you.
Thank you. And I need about half of you who are at the back half of that line to go sit back down. I'm really sorry, but we need, there's safety issues. So if everybody 15 back can just go sit back down and then come back up. So if you've been here a long time, like since the beginning, you will get to go before the folks who are just walking in now, okay? Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Chichi Navarro. I am a transgender non-binary resident of Boyle Heights, a proud member of the Los Angeles City Transgender Advisory Council, co-chair of the Transgender Caucus on the Commission of HIV, and a strong supporter of TGI-led organizations like Translatina Coalition, who's here today. I'm here today because I am deeply concerned about the proposed cuts to funding for the transgender community in the city budget. These funds are not just numbers on a page, they are lifelines. They provide access to essential health care, safe housing, legal aid, and support services that thousands of transgender Angelinos, including myself, rely on to survive and thrive. At a time when transgender people are facing unprecedented attacks and rollbacks of rights at the federal and state levels, it is more important than ever for Los Angeles to stand up and protect its most vulnerable residents. Transgender people in our city already face disproportionate rates of homelessness, unemployment, violence, and barriers to healthcare. Cutting this funding would only deepen these disparities and send a devastating message that our city is willing to turn its back on those who need support the most. As a leader and advocate in this community, I have seen firsthand how these resources save lives and empower people to contribute to the vibrant fabric of Los Angeles. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Giselle Mata, and I'm with ACE. Investing $460,000 to save billions is a great investment. We sent to each and every one of you and your offices a letter to fund the study that was already approved by you all and your predecessors. And we thank CD1, Councilmember Hernandez, for taking this up. It's very important. If we don't, we will continue to waste taxpayer dollars by giving billions of dollars to federal banks. Last year, we spent $1.4 billion in debt services, plus another $3 to $4 million in interest in banking. We want to keep our cities good jobs. They're the backbone of this city. We need to fire Wall Street banks and their CEOs. Now is the time to take bold action and solutions that prevent the threat of defunding LA. The federal government and Trump have clawed back $80 million from New York. Make no mistake, the federal banks will allow Trumps to do the same to LA. Fund the study.
Byron Jose with the Translatina Coalition. Good afternoon, Budget Committee Chair. We have been in conversation with the mayor's team to ensure that the city does not continue to fail transgender, expansive, and intersex communities. And yet we find ourselves, after 3 years, not having a line item on this budget. So we have met with your budget deputies, as well as most of the offices. Thank you to the council members that have taken the time to directly speak to our communities. So we turn to you as our policymakers, as our local leaders, to not just be allies, but to be champions, to set forth a memo, a directive to ensure that there's a line item to ensuring that the TGI Wellness and Equity Initiative that has been moving forward at the county, that the city is able to partner and champion. We know we have not yet, after over a year, heard from the offices of Blumenfield, so we look forward to meeting with your team, as well as the, for now, council president, to ensure that this city is truly funding our communities and that we're truly looking into the vacant positions, including the LAPD, to ensure that we are funding our communities. Thank you for your time.
Muy buenas tardes, mi nombre es Edgar Rafael Molina.
Good afternoon. My name is
Vivo en Los
Edgar Rafael
Ángeles
Molina. I live in Los Angeles,
y soy miembro del Centro Jornaleros de Carecen.
and I'm a member of Centro Laredos de Carecen.
El centro me ha apoyado en dar atención y encontrar trabajo.
The center has supported me in to give attention and work.
Y por ese motivo estoy representando para poder seguir recibiendo
That's
estos
why I'm
beneficios
representing so that I can continue to receive these benefits
del centro para mantener a mi familia.
from the center to be able to support my family.
Por lo cual estoy pidiendo un presupuesto con fondos para todos los centros jornaleros,
So I'm asking for a budget with funds for all of the Centro Laredos,
como el de Carecen.
like the Carecen.
Los centros son necesarios para la comunidad
The centers are necessary for the community
porque sin ellos no podríamos tener respaldos y protección,
because without them, we would not be able to have safety and protection,
especialmente durante este tiempo en los cuales los inmigrantes están siendo atacados.
especially during this time that the immigrants are being attacked.
Y la última petición, véanos con igualdad,
The last petition is see us as equals,
con o sin papeles.
with or without papers.
Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much.
And before the next speaker begins, if I could, and I apologize for not doing this earlier, if I could have the interpreters make one announcement aloud to the room, just to translate. So if you require a Spanish language interpreter,
Si
please
requieren un intérprete que habla español,
please make sure to pause every few sentences so the interpreters can interpret.
por favor pausen unas oraciones para que el intérprete pueda interpretar.
Don't worry, if you've noticed, we stop the time or pause the time when the interpreters are interpreting.
No se preocupen porque ponemos el tiempo en pausa cuando el intérprete está interpretando.
So you will get the same amount of time as everyone else.
Así
Thank
que
you.
van a obtener la misma cantidad de tiempo que todos. Gracias.
Mi nombre es Lorena Cepeda.
My name is Lorena Cepeda.
Soy residente de Los Ángeles
I'm a resident of Los Angeles,
y soy parte de la comunidad de Carecen de Central American Resource Development Center.
I'm also a member of Carecen, the Central Development Resource Center.
Yo conozco de primera mano las necesidades que tienen los jornaleros y jornaleras
I know firsthand the necessities of the jornaleros and jornaleras
para poder ser protegidos por estos centros.
so that they can be protected by these centers.
Los centros jornaleros les ofrece protección de abusos laborales.
The jornaleros centers offer them protection
De abuso laboral
from abuse, laboral abuse,
y poder tener acceso a recursos y servicios.
and so they can have access to resources and services.
Y por eso estoy aquí,
That's why I'm here.
para pedir que no se quede sin presupuesto los centros jornaleros.
That to ask that the jornaleros centers do not end up without budget,
Y que siga proveyendo apoyo para esta comunidad de jornaleros que es vulnerable.
and that you continue to provide support for this community of jornaleros that is vulnerable. Señito, ya se terminó el tiempo.
Good afternoon, council members. I'm Laura Lull, and I'm the CEO of Rainbow Services, a nonprofit organization serving survivors of domestic violence. Our organization is headquartered in San Pedro, way down in District 15. We have been serving DV survivors for more than 40 years. We work at the intersection of LA's most pressing issue, and that is homelessness. 43% of women who are homeless cite domestic violence as the cause. Not only do we provide shelter, we provide the plus, legal services, case management, referral, and support for permanent housing. Please restore the full CIFD budget for DV supportive services. DV organizations across the city are part of the solution, and we want to work together in partnership with you to solve this crisis. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Chuy Orozco, an EAA member, a youth protection analyst with the Youth Development Department, and a resident of City 11. The mayor's budget eliminates my job and my entire division, which is standardizing youth safety policies across 27 departments to prevent liabilities like the county's $4 billion child abuse settlement. My role is to train city staff to stop child exploitation ahead of the World Cup and the 2028 Olympics. I also facilitate youth wellness to youth affected by the pandemic, the fires, and ICE separations. Youth development is a mere 0.015% of the budget, but it delivers a 16-fold return on investment, is 8 times more efficient in preventing crime than policing. The mayor's budget cuts 47% of YDD's staff, the largest cut to any single department. If implemented, it will cost the city future liabilities, loss in revenue, and more crimes. Please don't turn your backs on the 800,000 youth that depend on us. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you, Council, for coming to Van Nuys. I'm a Van Nuys resident, and I want to thank you for all the work that you're doing and the tough decisions that you're going to have to make. I'm a cat person. I'm also a homeless advocate, and I'm a neighborhood watch member, and I'm also the previous president of the Van Nuys Neighborhood Council. I want to say that Insight Safe does work. We've had 2 of the largest encampments in Van Nuys. One was called the Skid Row of the Valley, and I live a block away from that, and I want you to know the quality of life has improved tremendously. And as a neighborhood watch captain, I'm the one that the folks call and complain before it gets actually to the police and 311, and I know that that program works, and so I'm asking you guys to take a look at that. Also for cannabis, just make sure that you have a way that it keeps those folks whole as they move forward. Raise taxes on alcohol.
Hello, my name is Mark Moreno, and I'm a helicopter mechanic with General Service Department. I'm also a member of SEIU 721, and I'd like to thank you for hearing us out here, Budget Committee. I just want to say that the city's already short on employees, and the attack that the mayor has made is really unfair. People are going to have to do the same job with less people, and that doesn't make absolutely any sense to me at all. So please try and find the money somewhere else, because there are other places to cut. So I don't have all the solutions, as nobody does, but please at least consider that. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Janet Sepulveda. I'm with Community Animal Medicine Project, CAMP. I'm speaking on behalf of CAMP and over 20 veterinarians, including every single city shelter clinic operator, urging an immediate increase in spay-neuter voucher rates. Together, we have fixed over 500,000 pets across Los Angeles, but we cannot keep doing this under current voucher rates. Every morning, our teams show up to work at our clinics and meet families that have waited months for a spay-neuter appointment, due to the shrinking number of veterinarians who can afford to accept city vouchers. Thank you for prioritizing this call to action from our veterinary collective, including Dr. Elaine Lukic, Zach Deegan, and Jennifer Artinian at CAMP, Dr. Doron Vardy at West LA Shelter, Dr. Nicole Petshower at West Valley Shelter, Western University's Dr. Forster and Clark, Dr. Casey Connor, and leaders from Fixed Nation, Spay for LA, Best Friends, the Latino Alliance, and others. Thank you for your leadership, your support. We'll keep pets healthy and happy with their loving families.
Thank you. Before the next speaker, Officer Duarte, would you please raise your hand? Okay, Officer Duarte is going to go stand in the line. Everybody behind him needs to sit down for fire safety reasons. The only people who should be standing up and on the side of the wall should be people who have been here since we started this meeting at 1 o'clock. And then we're going to go, once folks the only people who should be standing on the wall, people who were here when I started talking at 1 o'clock. Everybody else, we're gonna randomly call names based on this list that I have here. All right? And we'll get through as many of you as we possibly can. I don't think we're going to be able to get through everybody. We will do our best. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Fanny Pierre, and I'm speaking on behalf of People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Thanks to our National Emergency Response Team that takes calls from the public 24 hours a day, every day of the year, and are more than 40,000 employees, members, and supporters in the city of Los Angeles. PETA is acutely aware of the fact that Los Angeles is experiencing a homelessness crisis and that cruelty, neglect, and abandonment of animals is on the rise. We regularly receive complaints from LA residents who are not getting the help they need from the city's overcrowded, understaffed animal shelters. There is documentation that shows animals in LAAS shelters already frequently being deprived of the most basic care, a clean kennel, walks, fresh water, because the existing employees can't keep up with the volume of animals coming in. Cuts to the department's budget and staffing when they are already overwhelmed will be catastrophic and simply cannot be allowed to happen.
Good afternoon. My name is Lourdes Popper, and I am a member of the AFSCME Local 3090, and I work in the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm here to emphasize the essential role frontline civilian employees play in the day-to-day operations of the LAPD. We are the administrative backbone of the department, processing reports, managing records, and supporting investigations so that officers can focus on what they do best and what they are hired to do, serve and protect the public. Since the 2008 financial crisis, we have seen sworn officers placed in administrative roles, positions that could and should be filled by trained civilian staff. This is not only a misuse of highly specialized personnel, but it also drains resources for core public safety functions. At the same time, high-cost management positions have grown or remained untouched. Even as frontline workers are expected to do more with less, as we face new budget challenges, we urge the council to take a closer look at staffing structures, reduce inefficiencies, and ensure resources are directly where they are needed most. Thank you.
Marnie de la Cruz, Hope the Mission Day Labor Program. Our day laborers are not invisible. They're essential. Let me help you drive home the numbers that you've heard already today. In the first quarter of our fiscal year, we had already superseded the outcomes that are required of our day labor program. With over 1,000 day laborers helped, 30,000 jobs that had been connected, and over 68,000 services provided. That's within the first quarter of our fiscal year. And now, you want to bottom out a budget and zero it out. This isn't sanctuary, it's abandonment. Our day labor centers are hubs of hope, support, and survival. They are essential. Hands off our centers, hands off our jornaleros, and give us our funds. Thank you.
Hello, my name is John Abbey. I work for the Los Angeles Fire Department as a heavy equipment mechanic. I saw the mayor's speech to the city a couple of days ago. She's talking about how she's trying to put all these homeless people in hotel rooms, but yet cutting people's jobs and creating more homelessness. To me, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why everybody's over here trying to beg for you not to cut their funds, their jobs, when this city's supposed to be so rich, right? California's supposed to be the 4th largest economy in the world. That's pretty huge. We shouldn't even be here begging for our jobs. Okay, there should be more money than we need. I think we should be looking into people that are way up above us. Maybe they're the ones who needs to be looked at and their budget's cut. So yeah, please don't cut our budgets. I don't think it's necessary. Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members and members of the mayor's office. My name is Chantal Lopez, and I've worked with a few of you staff members. I'm from Hope the Mission, and I stand before you not just to speak, but to echo the voice of thousands of hardworking families who have found hope, dignity, and opportunity through our day labor program at Hope the Mission in Council District 2. This program isn't just a service, it's a lifeline. With the support of our mayor and the city, we've been able to help a lot of community members with legal work permits and vital resources that allow them to provide for their families with pride. We're not just helping individuals, we're strengthening the fabric of our community. Thank you so much for your time.
Hi, I'm Ari Venna. I'm Director of Communications and Development at CAMP. I just want to share one story about how the spay-neuter voucher program has really made a difference and to underscore the importance of this small but very critical appropriation in our city's budget. Baby is a sweet-tempered 8-year-old pit bull who came to us in dire shape with a life-threatening bacterial infection of the uterus called pyometra. Baby's human was unhoused and not in a position to pay, but thanks to the city's spay and neuter voucher program, he was able to bring Baby to camp to get her life-saving surgery. Cost is a key barrier for many pet guardians trying to give the best life possible to their animal companions. For Baby's guardian, the spay and neuter voucher meant peace of mind and hope. In addition to the increase for spay and neuter vouchers, I also urge the city to maintain funding for all shelters and essential staff positions of Los Angeles Animal Services before we spiral into further crisis that impacts not only our city's animals, but our city's people. Thank you so much.
My name is Daniela Castillo. I am a high-quality, high-volume spay and neuter surgeon veterinarian running a for-profit business while providing relief spay and neuter services for nonprofits. I've gained valuable insights into the challenges we face in this field. Firstly, the current value of the spay and neuter vouchers is alarmingly low. Nonprofit organizations, in a bid to reduce costs, often compromise crucial aspects like pain control, appropriate anesthesia, and necessary post-operative medications. This has set a dangerous precedent, leading many to believe that quality surgeries can and should be as inexpensive as these vouchers suggest. This misconception undermines the veterinary community, as clients often resist paying prices that reflect the true cost of comprehensive quality care. Secondly, these undervalued vouchers deter for-profit clinics from participating in spay and neuter programs. The current incentive structure is insufficient. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Luis Rivera. I'm here representing Social Equity LA and the cannabis industry. The cannabis industry is collapsing here over high taxes, high increase in fees, and the streamline and the timelines that it takes to get licensed. Before the city approves any increase, the DCR needs to fix what is broken. The licensing process is overcomplicated, far too slow and inefficient. If the department streamlines its operations and cuts unnecessary staff and red tape, it would cut costs and the revenues would rise. I'm here to ask that you guys please reject the new fee study to increase the DCR fees. Do not increase the DCR budget and adopt the cannabis equity reform and market stabilization motion so that the legal industry has a chance here in California and Los Angeles. Thank you.
And before the next speaker begins, I just want to ask, because I know we have a lot of people who have come in a little, like have shuffled in gradually as spaces opened up. Please make sure to sign up at the kiosk towards the entrance of the room. It helps us track who's been able to speak and who hasn't, because this is going to be part of a continuous meeting that will also go over into Monday as well. So if you have not signed up and you have not spoken yet, please make sure you do that. Thank you.
Good afternoon, City Council. My name is Edgar Escobar. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles and a longtime resident of CD5. I'm also a social equity license holder in the cannabis industry. The city is proposing to give the Department of Cannabis Regulation a $10 million bailout, not to help struggling operators, but to cover DCR's mismanagement of state grant funds. And now they want to raise the fees while most of us can't even stay open. We're taxed to death, we're drowning in fees, we're left to compete with unlicensed shops. Social equity operators are being forced to close our doors. While DCR's interim executive director earns a salary higher than the mayor of Los Angeles, we demand that the cannabis equity reform and market stabilization motion be adopted immediately. We demand a moratorium on new social equity retail licenses until DCR is restructured under a department that actually understands equity and economic development. And we demand to block the DCR's fee studies and the requested fee hike. Thank you very much.
Honorable council members, my name is Jackie Navratil. I am a resident of CD13, founder of Lux Paws, a volunteer community-focused organization supporting spay, neuter, and street rescue. I am here today to urge the City of Los Angeles to prioritize funding for spay-neuter programs. Angelenos cannot carry the burden of all these animals on their own. For decades, spay-neuter programs have been proven to be the most effective strategies to reduce shelter intake, euthanasia, and animal suffering in our community. Spay-neuter is shelter prevention. Unfortunately, the city's spay-neuter voucher value has not increased, while veterinary care across the country has increased 60%. The roadblocks, restrictions, and lack of service providers make it nearly impossible for working citizens to stop their pets from breeding. What's driving LA's animal overpopulation crisis? Angelenos are also witnessing inhumane outcomes in our neighborhoods. Children should not be subjected to witnessing sick or deceased kittens. Please support spay-neuter. Increase the funding.
Hi, my name is Nathan Keene. I'm a full-time animal rescuer and influencer documenting just how bad things have gotten on the streets for cats and dogs. There are hundreds of people giving up their weekends, their evenings, their lives to help with spay and neuter and rescue these cats for the city. And even with the budget they have now, we're still having to fundraise just to help these cats that are suffering and dying on the streets, which to me I think is absolutely stupid. When you have people that are willing to give up their lives to help, I think the city should be helping. I'll leave you with this. The next time that we have to pull kittens out of a dumpster or an abandoned car like I had to do just 2 days ago, I would love to tell the 2 million people following me that the city cares and they're helping and they're gonna make the problem go away, as opposed to the alternative that they know how bad it is, they don't care, and that it's gonna get worse. So I would love for you guys to help support the spay and neuter programs. Either way, I'll tag you guys so they know who to thank. Thank you so much.
My name is Lauren Paddock. I'm a resident of the City of Los Angeles, and I live in Council District 12. I have worked for the city for 10 years, formerly at the council office and now at the Department of City Planning. The mayor's proposed budget, if adopted, would not only set the city back by decades, it would devastate families like mine. At a moment where we need housing to be built so that we can take care of those impacted by fires and homelessness, cutting staff whose job is directly tied to that is short-sighted and downright irresponsible. Please work with us to preserve our jobs and to do so fairly. We are willing to do our part to help. And let's make sure the entire city family, including LAPD, does its part too. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mari Serve, and I live and work in CD14. I'm here today on behalf of Invest in Youth, a coalition that represents over 48,000 youth in the city of Los Angeles. After nearly a decade of advocacy, our young voters won a groundbreaking victory to establish the Youth Development Department. Some of the council members in this room voted and vocally supported this department's creation, and each successive year, you have quietly voted to reduce our already minuscule budget. Now the mayor wants to eliminate our department entirely. Let's be clear, this is shameful. Youth are the future of our city, and we are watching how you treat us. We have a lifetime of voting ahead of us, and we will remember your actions this budget season. 0.5% of the mayor's LAPD budget could fund the YDD fully. Respectfully, do the right thing and invest in our great city's youth.
Good afternoon, City Council members. My name is Miguel Ortega Pantoja. I'm a heavy equipment mechanic with the City of Los Angeles, and also a member of SEIU 721. Let me say that PD and fire trucks don't roll on unpaved streets, okay? The streets need to be paved for those guys to respond quickly and efficiently to the calls, all right? And second, also, another point, the majority of people, if not everybody in here, is saying don't make the cuts, find another way. So if you guys actually represent the people, you're gonna listen to what they're saying, and they're saying no cuts. All the guys at my shop at 7th Street Construction, we're willing to do our part, and I'm sure everybody else is. I don't see why Mayor Bass went nuclear by saying she's gonna destroy 1,600 jobs. We'll do a furlough day. 40,000 workers in the city of Los Angeles, a furlough day. You can get the money that way. We'll do our part. You do yours. Pay us.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Gio Zasanti. I work for LAPD as a civilian employee. I'm in SEIU 721. and I'm here to advocate for fully funding the public bank feasibility study, which was previously approved but left with a blank check. I work on LAPD vehicles that our first responders crucially need to keep our city safe. At the moment, we have 400 cars in need of service on top of those that get dropped off daily. We can't keep up, not only in my department, all over in the city in various departments. We can't keep up. Keep this city safe. Keep this city striving. Don't put the weight of this budget shortfall on the backs of our city workers. Thank you.
Good, yes. So for everybody, feel free to adjust the mic as you see fit. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, council members. My name is Elizabeth Diaz. Last week, I retired after 25 years of city service, and for the last 2 years, I've served as the Procurement Support and Assistance Supervisor for the CAO's Office of Procurement. I'm here today to speak in favor of retaining the 10 MA positions within the Office of Procurement. These are filled positions recommended to be eliminated in the mayor's proposed budget. The vision for this office was initiated and driven by our former Chief Procurement Officer, Shannon Hoppus, who died last October before she could fully realize the collective effort to improve procurement processes throughout the city. The 2-year journey to improve procurement processes through our innovative platforms, RAMP and LA Pop, just last night was acknowledged by the Los Angeles Business Council. This award named for Shannon Hoppus as the Trailblazer Award for the office's exemplary achievements. I urge you to strongly urge you to retain these important positions for the continued work citywide. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Donna Graves, and I'm from the One Generation Center, the Older Adult Advocacy Group. Older adults are the fastest growing group falling into homelessness in Los Angeles, yet they lag behind in achieving housing through existing city and county programs. Please prioritize older adults who are currently homeless, as well as those at-risk seniors who are on the verge of losing their housing due to fixed incomes and skyrocketing rents. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Michelle Quiroga Diaz, proudly representing One Generation, an aging service provider here in San Fernando Valley. As our older adult population grows, it is critical to prioritize dedicated resources that ensure our seniors live with dignity, respect, and the necessary support that they deserve. We need to ensure there are programs and services that are invested in our older adult population, and reductions in these investments, which we see in the mayor's proposed budget, negatively impact the older adult community and families that care for them. Some of those key consequences are increased isolation and loneliness, decline in health and well-being, increased risks in abuse and neglect, homelessness, and increased costs in healthcare. The aging and disability communities were not engaged in these decisions, and we respectfully encourage the Budget and Finance Committee to recognize that moving forward with these changes undermines the values of these critical programs. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Kimberly Mendoza, and I serve as the Director of the Case Management Department at One Generation. I'm here today not just a representative of our organization, but as a voice for the homebound seniors who cannot be here to speak for themselves. These are older adults who once built, served, and shaped this city. Teachers, nurses, veterans, caregivers. Now many of them are aging in isolation, too frail to leave their homes, too ill to attend hearings like this, and far too often completely forgotten. At One Generation, we provide vital supports, home-delivered meals, wellness checks, community resources, and case management to hundreds of seniors each year. For many, we are the only connection to the outside world. Every day, my team walks into homes where seniors sit in silence, unable to shop, see a doctor, or even make a phone call for help. These are people who gave their best years to this community. They deserve better. They deserve us to not neglect them. What they need is not sympathy. What they need is action. They need a city that will stand up for them, the same strength that they gave us once. because a city that forgets its elders forgets its values. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Vanessa Barajas. I'm the program manager of case management at One Generation. I'm here to urge you to increase funding for aging-related programs. These services aren't luxuries, they are lifelines. One of our older adults wanted me to share a few words with you. I am 85 years old. I live alone with no family in California. I can no longer drive. I depend on One Generation to take me to the grocery store, doctor, and dental appointments. I also have the emergency alert response system, which brings me a sense of safety in case I fall at home. Cutting back these programs will totally isolate me and make it more difficult for me to live on my own. I depend on the services from One Generation, like so many other seniors. This is not an isolated story. Thousands of older adults in our city are facing similar challenges. They've contributed to society their whole lives, and now, in their time of need, we cannot turn our backs on them. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Alejandra, and I'm also a field-based case manager from One Generation, a nonprofit agency that provides services to medically frail, isolated seniors. Mayor Bass's budget proposal is a cause for concern. We are talking about a city that wants to issue layoffs and freeze hiring in other vital departments, including the Department of Aging. Through consolidation of funds, large oversight can blur the needs of our seniors. When funds are pooled, high-visibility programs can dominate less popular essential services, such as fall prevention, respite care, and case management. These programs have immensely supported our seniors throughout the years, increasing their independence and reducing the likelihood of their institutionalization. When finance visibility drops, it becomes difficult for board members to recognize the funding gaps that directly affect our seniors. We all want a stronger, more equitable Los Angeles, but that requires balance and specialized leadership like those in the Department of Aging. This proposal prioritizes spending over sustainability. Our seniors deserve stability, dignity, and a city that doesn't treat them as an afterthought. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to call some names, about 10. When I call your name, please come line up on this wall. We're going to get back to the list. Alex Linz, Amber Mendoza, Anna Griffin, Danae Zaire, Elizabeth Gallardo, G. Mohan, Godfrey Plata, Gwen Squires, Jana Whaley, Jillian Burgos, Jesus Herrera, Jonathan Feeney, and Kelly Takasu.
So as people line up, just remember, you do not need to line up in the order in which your name was called. Go ahead.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Vilma Martínez, pertenezco al Nido Family Resource Center.
Hi, my name is Vilma Martinez, and I belong to the United Family Resource Center.
Estoy aquí como cliente del Nido, el cual le doy las gracias al City Council por apoyar al Nido Family Resource Center.
And I'm sorry, that's Nido Family Resource Center. I'm here as a Nido customer, and I would like to thank the City Council for their support of the Nido Family Resource Center.
Ya que en lo personal me ha ayudado mucho con mi familia, con mis hijos.
As it has personally helped me, my family, and my children.
Carreras de colegio, health mental.
It's also helped with their college careers as well as mental health.
Ayuda para comida, ayuda para mi trabajo. Es un lugar muy especial donde le ayudan al hispano.
And it's also helped me with food and with work. It's a very special place for Hispanic people.
Y le doy gracias al City Council, a todos, Mónica Rodríguez y a los que no les sé el nombre y están aquí presentes, por ayudar al Nido Family Resource Center.
And I would like to thank the City Council, particularly Councilwoman Mónica Rodríguez, as well as the other council members whose names I do not know. I want to appreciate your support of Nido.
Gracias por todo y Dios me los bendiga y feliz tarde.
Thank you for everything. May God bless you and have a great afternoon.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Alex Linz. I'm a city planning associate with the City Planning Department. I've worked there for 5 years. I'm an EAA member. My team's work involves something called the Wildlife Ordinance, which is meant to make development more compatible with the environment for the benefit of wildlife and also for the benefit of all Angelenos who enjoy clean air, beautiful trees in our communities, and open spaces that humans and animals enjoy together. My entire team is proposed to be laid off, and I think that this is very short-sighted, and I think that the people of this city would agree that climate change is a long-term issue that requires long-term planning and action for us to face it. Because if we think we're in an emergency now, you know, just wait for the conversations that we're going to be having 5 or 10 years from now or in our children's lifetime about the environment. So please consider retaining our important positions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. Godfrey Plata, he, him, Deputy Director at LA Forward, Koreatown resident in CD10. We've been advocating for the expansion of unarmed crisis response services over the last few years and see that the mayor's draft thankfully includes a line item to save an important new program, the Unarmed Model of Crisis Response, UMCR pilot. Now, as you and the rest of the council make amendments, we ask you to leave this $9.376 million of funding alone or even consider growing it. UMCR saves lives. UMCR means that 6 types of calls that 911 might typically dispatch to armed police are diverted instead to trained responders for mental health, substance abuse calls, and more. We're talking behavioral health specialists, community workers, a therapist, crisis interventionist, actual services coming to the scene, all of them unarmed, able to serve housed and unhoused neighbors. Bonus, the program saves money. The CAO's office spoke earlier this month saying that 2 people with the UMCR team attending to an incident cost $35, 2 armed officers attending to the same incident, $85. We can save lives and money. We should be expanding this program. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amber Mendoza. I'm a resident of Los Angeles. I don't want to stir any things here, but I don't want any cuts for the mobile food operation program for sidewalk vending enforcements. I know firsthand that our Department of Health is already stretched thin and is the only entity to control the surge in unpermitted sidewalk vendors. We have food vendors permanently operating in front of our home and encouraged more vendors, and the Department of Health was the only help. Despite low permit fees, widespread disregard for the law persists due to lack of effective enforcement. This absence of a backup plan after initial education fosters an unregulated informal economy. Our strained public health department lacks the resources to oversee these operations, leading to ineffective interventions and repeated calls for same violations. Our current budget does not allow any more for us, so please help with that.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Danai Zaire, and I'm employee of City Planning, one of the departments that is mostly hit by the proposed cuts. Cutting positions and firing city employees is ultimately a short-sighted and counterproductive strategy that will not necessarily improve the city's budget, especially in the long term. It actually undermines essential public services, harms the local economy, and leads to long-term costs that outweigh the immediate savings. City planning is providing crucial services for the city of LA, from helping creating more highly needed housing to working on policies related to sustainability, mobility, environmental justice, and climate change. Climate change increases the likelihood of the recent wildfires, and if we don't plan for our city better with a focus on resiliency, we're not going to be any safer in the future. Who will want to visit, live, or even invest in our city if the quality of life is bad, with no city services, soil, air, and ocean contaminated, no places to walk and to build community, and not enough trees to help with the expected higher temperatures? How are we protecting the city from liability lawsuits when we plan to spend less towards planning and maintaining the city's infrastructure? Please save jobs. Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Elizabeth Gallardo. I'm a city planner because I love our city. I am here today with EAA to speak on behalf of my colleagues that face layoffs and demotions just when they thought their career was taking off. During my 13 years of serving the city, I have collaborated with almost every department facing cuts in this budget. I can readily tell you that our city government is not bloated or overstaffed. The positions cut in this budget are reckless, Doge-style slashes to programs that serve our communities and constituents. Angelenos lose with this budget. These cuts will set us back 30 years. They make our departments less diverse and less able to serve our communities. They create a future without a long-term vision. Nearly every unit from my department, city planning, will face 25 to 50% losses. I will ask bluntly, will LAPD sworn have earned a large portion of this deficit also face the same cuts? This budget is ignorant of how our city works, and the cuts are revenue generating. They're cutting revenue generating positions, so please stop. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jana Wally with Public Counsel. I strongly support the Represent LA program and ask that you fund it at $4 million. My dedicated team represents people in removal proceedings, including those in detention. Immigration law is extremely complex, and no one should have to face it alone. The Trump administration is leveling a multifaceted attack at our immigrant community. This attack includes eliminating enforcement priorities so that all non-citizens are targets, deporting people to third countries, and firing immigration judges, to name just some. The city of Los Angeles must step up to protect our immigrant community. I'm appalled that the mayor included $0 to fund the Represent LA program in her budget this week. Robust, multi-year funding is critical to building capacity and meeting our community's needs. Thank you.
My name is Kelly Takasu, and I'm the Senior Public Policy Manager at Alzheimer's Los Angeles. Our organization has served families and individuals affected by Alzheimer's and other dementias for over 40 years. We are concerned about the proposed changes to the Department of Aging in the mayor's proposed budget. Specifically, we are concerned that the consolidation of this department into a larger social services department could negatively impact older adults in Los Angeles. The number of older adults in LA is growing rapidly. Now is the time to invest in specialized programs for this diverse and vulnerable group, not bury the services and supports they need in a bigger department with a broader focus. We urge the preservation and recommend robust funding for the Family Caregiver Support Program. This program provides respite to Alzheimer's caregivers who are stressed, tired, and overwhelmed. They may be providing care for themselves, and these few hours of respite care allow them to run errands, take a break, see to their own health, and rest. On the airplane, they say to put the mask on yourself first before you help others. Respite care allows caregivers to do just that. The city's Department of Aging understands how urgently these supports are needed, and we urge you to support them.
Good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Feeney, and I'm an environmental compliance inspector with the City of LA and an EAA union member. I've proudly served this city for 2.5 years, and for the past 2 years, I've been tasked with leading public right-of-way cleanups. In that time, I've encountered all kinds of hazardous waste, from illegally dumped oil to used syringes and barrels of acid. Coordinating with field staff from other city entities, ranging from LASA and LAPD, to members of the public, from disenfranchised people experiencing homelessness to wealthy business owners, the ECI ensures that the concerns of the public and the concerns of sanitation are met. To see our successes, I encourage you to look at the restoration efforts in the Bayona wetlands on Lincoln and Jefferson, or even the mayor's inaugural project, Inside Safe. The ECI position protects public health, environmental health, and limits liability. The mayor's proposed layoffs would eliminate my position, which not only threatens my family's livelihood, it also leaves the streets and sidewalks of LA unsafe. Without people like me, hazardous waste will go uncollected and the public's health is at risk. Prior to budgeting constraints and during the height of the COVID pandemic, the ECI position in LSD was considered emergency responders. While other job classifications could work from home, ECIs within LSD were required to report to work in the field every day. Now that budgets are short, we are
Speaker,
considered
your time has
expendable.
expired.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Anna, and I'm here today as a parent and concerned resident to voice strong opposition to any plan that reduces the recreation and parks budget, leading them to privatize the licensed child care centers. My daughter attends Downey Preschool in Lincoln Heights. These centers were renovated with public dollars, including a $20 million grant with the intention to serve our underserved communities. They are public assets, and they should remain publicly operated. Privatizing the centers risks putting access, quality, and equity in jeopardy. Families rely on these spaces not just for childcare, but for early learning, safety, and community connection. These are licensed, trusted spaces where children grow into future leaders guided by our staff, rooted in our neighborhoods. If you close these doors or hand them to private operators, you're not just disrupting services, you're severing ties with the very communities RAP is supposed to serve. Today, I'm asking the city leadership to work with RAP to secure a public path toward one that keeps these centers funded, open, and operated by RAP and its staff.
And Speaker, before you leave the podium, which name did you sign up under? I know you said Anna.
Anna Griffin.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you. And for everybody who's here, you don't have to use your real name when you sign up, but we do ask that you state the name you signed up under before you speak so we can make sure or check off, see who's had the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Nicole Brown with the Urban Peace Institute and the Los Angeles Violence Intervention Coalition. I'm here to ask you to make sure all community-based safety efforts are fully funded and particularly no cuts to the grid budget. Community violence intervention works and the data proves it. Last year, gang-related homicides and shootings dropped by almost 50% after grid saw greater investment. Drops in violent crime were larger in grid zones than the city overall. By investing in grid and other community strategies like the UMCR pilot, you will save the city money. An evaluation of grid crisis response found that it saved the city over $150 million over 2 years when adjusting for inflation. We need to invest more in these strategies, not less. We need more peacemakers on the street with good living wages, even in times of budget shortfalls. We cannot afford to do differently. Please fully fund the grid and the unarmed crisis response pilot and all community safety efforts. Thank you very much. My name is Gwen, and I've lived in Boyle Heights for 13 years. I'm here today to speak on behalf of the city-run childcare centers at Evergreen Recreation Center and for the families who depend on the 8 other centers facing cuts. Children are part of our community now, and how we invest in them reflects our values as a city. The Evergreen Center is unique in Boyle Heights. It's located in a natural park setting in a beautifully renovated facility funded by taxpayers, and it offers something rare: free, high-quality childcare. That's amazing, but without a long-term plan, it's not sustainable. Parents and children need stability. Closing this center to balance the budget is short-sighted. There are better options. Introduce a pay scale, apply for grants, and engage the parents and families who are here today and are eager to help. I was excited to enroll my son and be part of a community built around care and connection when he turns 2 in August. There are no other centers in this area.
Speaker, before you leave, so you said Gwen, right? Was that the full name that you signed up under? Or?
Gwen Squires.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to call some more names before we get to our next speaker. Alyssa Gonzalez, Amy Wynn, Bruno Huizar, Danae Zaire, Deanna Payne, Edgar Castillo, G. Mohan, Gordon Haynes, James Sculo, Jeff DeGia, and Jared Kylo.
So remember, you do not need to line up in the order in which you heard your name called, but please wait till you hear your name. Go ahead, Speaker.
Hello, my name is Jillian Burgos, CD2 resident, neighborhood council member, speaking on my own behalf. We keep funding reactive services instead of preventative ones. That is straight up neglect. LAPD has defunded our city. We need to refund our communities and refund the people. The budget has cut funding from street services, transportation, and civil service jobs. A street light repair that normally took 30 days will now take well over 1 year. This neglect will cause crashes, loss of life, and more liability payments. For the past 2 years, more people have died due to traffic violence than homicides. Safer streets need to be a priority. LAPD does not need 2 helicopters costing $18 million. Next, neighborhood council members are losing nearly a quarter of our funding. This means less grants for homeless services, community cleanups, funding programs, and beautification projects. We are your Shine LA. Fund us. How do we pay for it? By implementing a public bank. We need phase 2 now. It will save us millions in fees, nearly half of housing and infrastructure costs lost due to banking fees. Also, thank you for funding unarmed crisis response. Without a dedicated department of the city level, it is the closest thing that
Speaker,
we
your
have
time has
to
expired.
care that Angelinos deserve.
Speaker.
Thank you.
Your time has expired.
Good afternoon, City Council members. My name is Amy Nguyen, and I'm with CAS, the Coalition to Abolish Slavery and Trafficking, and a member of the DV Homeless Services Coalition. Council members, I urge you to fully fund CIFD Survivor Services Program. Critically, the current proposed budget is missing support to organizations who are facing a 44.7% reduction in funding from the Federal Victims of Crime Act. I can't underscore enough how devastating these cuts will be for survivors across Los Angeles. Survivors would be redirected to a general homelessness services system that's already overwhelmed and not safe, causing re-trafficking to survivors. Survivors would need to wait even longer to meet with an attorney to seek justice and immigration relief, if they're even connected at all. And finally, survivors would no longer be able to access emergency response services on a 24/7 basis. Some would be turned away and told to call back later. This is all unacceptable. We urge you to fully fund CIFD Survivor Services with funding from General Services. Thank you.
Hello, City Council members. My name is Bruno, and I work at the California Immigrant Policy Center. I'm a lifelong Angelino growing up in District 6 here in the 818. When I was a teenager in 2008, ICE arrested my parent and separated my family. The worst nightmare came true for an immigrant family. La Migra took my father away, locked him up in a cell hundreds of miles away, and deported him, permanently separating him from my family and our community. When my parent was in ICE detention, we had no access to an attorney. We lived every day in fear of family separation, eviction, no income for food or gas to get to school or work, and no city resources to defend our family in court. We lost everything, our income, our home, and our family. I know what it's like to go to immigration court alone, where dignity and due process are denied for families for simply not being able to afford an attorney. I urge you to uphold policies that ensure immigrant Angelinos receive due process and legal representation by committing $4 million to the city's budget to fund the Represent LA program. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Dina Payne, and I am the director of Good Shepherd Shelter. We are in CD10. We are a transitional domestic violence shelter for mothers and children. And I'm also a member of the Domestic Violence Homeless Services Coalition. And I'm here today to urge you to fully fund CIFD Survivor Services and restore critical funding for gender-based violence programs. At our shelter, we not only address domestic violence, but we also provide case management, mental health services, educational services. We have a trauma-informed kinder through 5th grade elementary school on site. We are now have families that are in their 3rd and 4th generation of having no violence in their families, and that is all because of programs like ours. Pardon me? Somebody say something? There are 43% of those that are unhoused that identify as a survivor of gender-based violence. So by addressing the need to fully fund CIFD, you are also addressing homelessness. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jeff DeGia, and I'm with Asian Americans Advancing Justice Southern California, or AJ SoCal. I'm here to show my strong support for the Represent LA program and ask you to fund it at $4 million. Represent LA's work is critical to ensure due process for immigrant communities in LA. The API community is one of the largest communities in LA and LA County. My org is one of the few organizations that can provide assistance in this growing community in 8 different languages, 8 API languages. There are at least about 500,000 APIs in LA City, and at least 1/6 are immigrants. Our immigrant community deserves support, resources, and protection, and my org is one of those that can do that. We urge you to fund this program and continue to support immigrant communities in this city. Thank you.
Good
afternoon, council members. My name is Gordon Haynes. I'm the Deputy Heat Officer at the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office. 14 years with the city. I'm a member of SEIU 721 as well. These proposed cuts would eliminate our office, our entire staff. What we do is help prepare and mitigate the hazards of climate impacts and extreme heat to the citizens and residents of Los Angeles. We work with a diverse group of CBOs and community members who lobbied and asked for these kinds of services to be provided by the city. This was only instituted by former President Kerkorian only a few years ago, and now our office is on the chopping block. So this is extremely hazardous to vulnerable populations and especially older adults and vulnerable people like immigrants. Without our office, our heat action and resilience plan will not happen, and climate hazards and heat from Rosita to West LA, Leimert Park, Lincoln Heights, and Wellington will be even more dangerous. Thank you.
My name is James Shulo. I'm a Title V worker through the Department of Aging, and I train at the Bernardi Senior Center in Van Nuys. I'm only here to make a brief statement that the well-being of seniors is utmost important. These group of people come every day for years, and to have funding taken away from them really affects their mental health and attitude towards the community. Because we engage with the community, sometimes we have block parties that invite the community to come join us. Funding for that, alternative funding for these kind of activities don't last. And when you take away from what we appreciate, then it has an effect overall in the community. So I'm asking you not to turn your back on those that spend their lives contributing to the community. Even animals play a part in older adults' attitude and well-being. Thank you.
My name is Jared Kylo. I am the owner of the Higher Path, 12-year business resident in District 4. Councilmember Blumenfield, you have seen my face and heard my voice for the last 12 years in response to protecting the legal cannabis industry as it grows and remits taxes to this city. Now we're talking about my business alone has remitted $6.5 million to the city's general fund. And when you look at the cannabis industry, we have raised over $800 million for the general fund for the city of Los Angeles. Currently, we have 3,792 illegal operators who are not paying taxes to the city, who are not remitting anything or doing any sort of regulatory work. And now we are asking, the DCR is asking for a 70% increase in the fees to run our businesses. There are over 300 businesses that are failing. We are just told by the DCR that we're $300 million in back taxes that have not been paid. We need help, and we need you to not issue the DCR any new fees until a study is done. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Edgar Castillo. I'm here on behalf of United LA. We are here to highlight the importance of maintaining a comprehensive, coordinated youth development strategy as the city navigates an unprecedented fiscal crisis and makes difficult decisions about the future of its services and infrastructure. We respectfully urge City Council to, 1, safeguard the infrastructure and funding for youth workforce development programs to provide job readiness, paid work experience, mentorship, and wraparound services for young Angelinos. 2, protect the staffing and operational capacity of the Youth Development Department and the Economic Workforce Development Department to preserve youth development goals and service delivery. The proposed 47 cut to YDD would severely impair the city's ability to implement its own YDD strategic plan and fulfill its commitments to young people across Los Angeles. Similarly, EWDD must be resourced to continue its core functions and partnerships that support youth employment. Number 3, reaffirm and institutionalize the strategic plans of EWDD and YDD in Horizons 32K. Lastly, ensure a collaborative and transparent planning process before advancing departmental consolidation. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alisa, and I am a resident of CD14 and also a representative from the Invest in Youth Coalition. So I'm here to urge you to protect the Youth Development Department. Cutting their budget and consolidating their department is unjustifiable when the budget for the department that has costed the city millions of dollars in liability claims continues to grow. Although our youth are unable to vote now, they will be voters in the future, and they are watching your actions very closely. They are disproportionately affected by the decisions that you are all making that they cannot vote on, so it is your responsibility to act in their best interest. So don't invest in the criminalization of our youth, invest in the city's future. Some of you all in front of us today actually voted in favor of the YDD back a couple years ago, honoring nearly 8 years of work. So it is your duty to vote in the best interest of your constituents, and it would be an absolute shame for you to make youth of the city pay for LAPD's liability claims and the mayor's inability to properly allocate funding. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jackie Cornejo, and I'm a financial development officer in the housing department. I'm also a member of the EAA union, and I live in Council District 8. My coworkers and I are responsible for the development and affordable housing on city-owned land. But we don't do this work alone. Projects require permits and coordination across multiple departments. Technical services that cannot be replaced by AI, as was suggested a few days ago. The proposed cuts in housing are to our construction services unit, who ensure that contractors pay prevailing wage. If my coworkers are laid off, projects will experience delays and slow progress in addressing the homelessness crisis. We need more permanent, affordable housing, not Band-Aid solutions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Tiffany Hall, a 16-year city employee and a senior police service representative or a 911 dispatch supervisor. I speak for all of our EAA members to strongly oppose the proposed cut of nearly 1,700 civilian roles, 848 of them hours, including 403 filled LAPD positions vital to public safety. These cuts will not save money, they'll drive up liability and overtime. Our civilian staff perform essential technical duties. For example, our systems analysts protect the city's 911 system from failure and cyber attacks, critical work that cannot be outsourced or delayed. Eliminating these roles will overwhelm the remaining workers, causing major delays in the processing of evidence, crime scene photos, and report management. This backlog will slow investigations, hinder officers who are already stretched thin, and leave criminals free longer, putting our entire city at risk. These proposed layoffs are not cost-saving. This is reckless and compromises the very infrastructure that keeps our city running. We strongly urge you to reconsider. Thank you.
And before you get started, I'm going to call just a few more names. Ronnie Solis, Ronald Zoboblisu, Paxeli Marquez, Nalita Ayala, Michael McFadden, Martha Nerio, Marta Segura, Maria Fernandez, Lynn Chow, Luis Rivera, Lisa Shaughnessy, Lisa Baca, Kay Mohan, Joseph Bradford, Giovanna Ordonez. Please all come up. You don't have to line up in order. Just if you heard your name, please come up. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Lynetta Ramirez. I'm Chief Clerk Police over the Vehicle Warrant Section in LAPD. I've worked with the city for 32 years and 24 of those years with LAPD. I run the Vehicle Warrant Section. It's a 24-hour DOJ mandated unit. We enter stolen vehicles, recovered vehicles, firearms, missing persons reports, and restraining orders. The budget proposal would eliminate our entire unit, which would cause liability for the city. It would cause us to lose our access to DOJ and would require officers to do our jobs. That is counterproductive to saving money, and I just want to know why you feel that eliminating all of those positions is a smart thing to do. It is not helping our citizens, us city employees that live in the city. Thank you.
Hi.
My name is Ronald Zabablish. I'm not accustomed to public speaking, but I felt I had to come out and say something. I've been homeless twice in my life, last time 11 years ago. It wasn't pleasant. I am with the advocacy group trying to help near homeless and homeless seniors get housing. It's cheaper to give seniors housing when they are. Let me start. It is easier to give seniors who are still housed in homeless. I'm sorry. If there's near homeless people, near homeless seniors can get. It's cheaper to give them housing and help. I'm sorry, I can't do this.
You're doing great.
But I do want to say one thing. There is a lot of abandoned buildings in this country in good shape that could be used for renovating for homeless people. And maybe that would be work for pennies on the dollar. And those pennies on the dollars could be used for medicine, for counseling, for training for jobs, for anything other than just paying politicians. Thank you.
All right. Hello, my name is Ronnie Solis Melton. I am a social equity applicant and operator in Los Angeles, California. I'm also the founder of Zapata Cannabis Co. I'm here to urgently ask you to thoroughly audit DCR and reform the social equity program and provide market stabilization. DCR does not need $6.5 million for a salary increase if we can't even get a customer service rep on the phone to help us out. DCR has thoroughly destroyed the equity program, making false promises, funneling grants money, and that was promised to us, and taxing our customers 40% for legal medicine. And lastly, our industry is on the brink of extinction. Pretty soon, there will be no equity for the people. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lynn Chow. Do not cut the budget allocated for animal services or cut staff positions. It is a death sentence to dogs, cats, and animals. LA Animal Services is already the lowest funded large shelter system in the country. This is not a product of fires, but a mismanagement of Mayor Bass and upper management at the LA Animal Services for the last 2.5 years. Mayor Bass vowed to make LA the model city of animal welfare. Instead, she did the opposite. She raised the budget 18%, which was 1/3 of what the department asked for. She hired a new GM, Stacy Daines, at an exorbitant amount of salary of $272,000 for her to go on paid leave in August of '24 to November, having the city foot the bill. After, Mayor Bass did not even try to find a replacement for the GM to lead the department out of crisis with high euthanasia rate, overcrowding, and no standard policy for euthanasia, putting animals in harm's way.
Good afternoon, Budget Committee. My name is Nelida Ayala with Esperanza Immigrant Rights Project, and I'm here today to show my strong support for the Represent LA program and to ask it to be funded at $4 million. Represent LA's work is critical to ensure due process for immigrant communities in Los Angeles. This pressing need comes at a time when the Trump administration's executive orders and attacks have already hurt the immigrant community. Our Immigration Court Help Desk and Family Group Legal Orientation Program, which provided vital services to pro se respondents, have already been terminated. Yet, even though some of our programs were already cut this year, the populations we still serve still stand and need community education. Our Rep LA program includes representation and pro se services. Since our pro se services launched in March, we've already completed 92 intakes, and our representation program has completed 76 intakes for the fiscal year. I urge you to continue these services at this time when due process is needed. Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Paxeli Marquez, and I'm here with LA Forward to support the Unarmed Crisis Response pilot project. Thanks to UMCR, it not only saves lives, but it also saves capacity. UMCR's mandate to address nonviolent 911 call types, such as mental health, relieves LAPD, LA Fire Department, and Los Angeles County's Department of Mental Health from stretching their existing services to address the call types. As a result, this means that departments such as LA Fire have greater capacity to focus on call types only their departments can resolve. UMCR saves the capacity and time of LA City emergency responders. And at the same time, I'm here to show my support for the Represent LA program and to ask for the fund of that $4 million to be instated into the program. Represent LA's work is critical to ensure due process for immigrant communities in Los Angeles. This pressing need comes at a time when the Trump administration's executive orders and attacks fund LA Represent.
Good afternoon. My name is Martha Nerio, and I'm a case manager here in Boyle, college persistent case manager in Boyle Heights. But before that, I was a product of that very youth development programs that we're talking about cutting today. These programs gave me guidance, stability, and a sense of direction when I didn't have it anywhere else. Now I work with young people who are walking the same path I once did. Continued investment in these youth programs isn't optional, it is essential. Our youth deserve the same chance I was given, and they deserve the real protection and serving of this city. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Maria Fernandez, and I'm here to advocate for my mom, who's 88 years old. She receives hot meals. We receive them at home, and that program has been so essential for us. And the senior community is the most vulnerable community because they're homebound, they're isolated, and without this program, it saves us. She's not able to cook, she's not able to go shopping. I assist her with a lot of the stuff, but still this program through the Department of Aging that we receive on daily meals, we receive a daily meal that are, they're tailored specifically for her nutritional needs. It would really be devastating for the homebound community, the senior community, if you guys cut the program. So thank you so much for your time.
Hello, my name is Giovanna Ordonez. I have lived in LA my whole life. The fact that this proposed budget defunds the Youth Development Department, taking away vital resources for our youth's future, is disgraceful. The Youth Development Department is already one of the least funded departments in Los Angeles, and we and so many of these other departments here fighting for the small budgets that we have are not the reason the Los Angeles is in a budget deficit. Already, our youth are facing constant uncertainty from our federal government, and we look to you, our city government, for protection and certainty. But instead, we see all of you constantly ignoring people's concerns and voices. Remember the reason each of you were chosen into your positions, and do your jobs. Prioritize your constituents' needs. We will vote in new people who will. Our youth deserve better.
Hello, my name is Michael McFadden. I use he, they pronouns. I'm the Assistant Director of Senior Services at the LA LGBT Center. We want to thank the mayor for their continued support and the city council as well for your continued support of the LGBTQ community, especially the LGBTQ older adults. We understand that this is an incredibly challenging budget year and appreciate your efforts to preserve direct services. The Los Angeles LGBT Center operates the only LGBT-specific senior center in both the city and the county, providing life-saving, affirming care. As our community faces escalating political attacks and potential losses in federal funding, your support is more vital now than ever. We thank you for including and protecting this funding to this most vulnerable population. The needs of aging seniors within Los Angeles are unique. They deserve the city's attention, resources, staffing, and support. We want to express our concerns for the merger of the Department of Aging with both the economic. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name's Lisa Baca. I'm here representing the thousands of equestrian owners in the city of Los Angeles to ask you, please do not close the West Valley Animal Shelter. It is the only large animal livestock shelter currently in the system. California is home to the largest number of horse owners in the nation. We contribute $11.6 billion to the state's economy. Many of us pay the city business license tax. We do sales tax. We employ horse shoers, feed stores, veterinarians, and we deserve to have one shelter that can handle large animal livestock in the city system. We are also concerned that the mayor does not have any care for equestrians. In the fires recently, over 2,000 animals were evacuated at the LA Equestrian Center, Hanson Dam. There was zero representation for their care from Mayor Bass or representatives from her office. We ask you please to keep West Valley Animal Shelter as a resource for equestrians in the city of Los Angeles. Thank you.
Before you speak, sir, I'm going to just call a few more names, all right? Gio Zesati, Gloria Medina Glott, Ileana Tavera, Jason Enright, Jesus David Orozco, Joe Laskin, Jill Haber, Lisa Shaughnessy, Lauren Peretra, Luis Rivera, Mario Murrieta, Mia Arredondo, Nelida Ayala, Raquel Ormasa, Robert Goodman, Rubina Gazarian. Please go ahead, sir.
So my name is Joseph Bradford, and I am the founder of Bear Truth. We are an inside safe provider. So I'm here begging you guys to release our funding. Like, I'm already currently doing work. I house people that look just like every single one of you right now, and you guys are not paying us. My security guy is here because we do not have the funding, over 3 months of funding that is not being released. I was once a child that was homeless in Kansas City, Missouri. My mother with us. This is important to me. It's more than just a job. It's more than just what I do. The man that was up here crying, like, I house people and I'm feeding people just like him every single day. I feed over 300 meals every single day. I provide services around the clock, 24 hours a day. But if you guys are encouraging me to spend and spend and spend and spend, which I'm doing, but Lassa is telling me that you guys are not releasing the money. I'm begging for my money. I'm already spending. The money is already allocated. It's already spending. Please help me continue housing people.
Hello. Hello, my name is Gloria Medina. Oh. Hello, my name is Gloria Medina. Please, Mayor, please. We all do a lot of things here. We help. I'm a volunteer. I adopted a child once when I was working in the school district. And I'm still helping the police department. Anything I see, I have my little corner, Starbucks, some little place, because some stuff happened there. I'm there to help. And I'm also at the senior place now. And I love it. I'm dancing, singing. I eat there. I also try to help people there. If anybody's hurt or needs water, I run for it. I'm there to help. We have exercise. It helps us a lot. Where else can I go for that? Back to Texas? No. I love it here. There's a lot to do. I like to keep myself busy. Amen. That's it. I love you guys, all right? I love you. If you need my help, I'm here to help you.
Hello, council members. My name is Joe Laskin. I work with Northeast Trees. We're LA's oldest design-build nonprofit. We've planted over 150,000 trees and employed thousands of youth in the city of Los Angeles. I want to thank Councilmember Hernandez for her advocacy, working in the community of Cypress Park and CD1, helping us. I'm here today to speak for the trees and the parks. Northeast Trees, we plant trees, we build parks, we inspire young men and women in the work that we do. We're currently working on a fire resilience project at Ascot Hills Park. We're being told it's going to take a year to get our permit to do a critical fire resilience project. That's unacceptable, and we need help. And also, I'm here to advocate for the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office. It's very alarming that that department is being cut completely. So I'm here to speak for that. And we recognize the city is in a dire financial position, but ultimately these cuts will massively increase both human and financial costs in our new climate reality and push costs into vulnerable communities. Please reject this budget and speak for our trees and our parks and our open space. Thank you.
Good afternoon, City Council members. My name is Ileana Tavera. I'm the CEO of Haven Hills, a domestic violence service provider in Council District 3. I'm here today to express strong concern about the proposed cuts to the Community Investment for Families Department Survivor Services Program. These cuts would eliminate new shelter beds and severely limit our ability to provide life-saving services to survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. They also put at risk approximately $3.8 million in critical investments, including the VOCA backfill approved by this council last year, expanded services for transitional age youth and non-confidential shelters, and a new data management system to improve how we serve survivors. Let's be clear. Cutting this funding is not just a budget decision, it's a withdrawal of the city's commitment to survivors of gender-based violence, and without it, more survivors will be pushed into homelessness, further straining already overburdened public systems. We urge you to restore the full $12.4 million in general fund support for FY 25-26 and ensure that Los Angeles remains a city where survivors can find safety, support, and dignity. Thank you.
Jason Enright, LA Forward and the North Hollywood Northeast Neighborhood Council, speaking on my own behalf. First, just want to thank you all. A couple months ago, I came here and asked that you hold a budget meeting here in Van Nuys, and look at all these wonderful people who showed up. So thank you for doing that. Second, the UMCR pilot. Thank you, Mayor, for putting in $9.376 million. That's great. We'll use it. That program's gonna save lives, save capacity, but it needs to expand. In CD2, we still don't have a circle team or a UMCR team, and we really need that support. When I call for help with my son, it takes 2 hours for the county to get mental health out to us. So please expand that program. Second, Represent LA. They're a great program. They need their $4 million. We need to fund them. Overall, on this budget, we are prioritizing things we don't need for things we really do need. We need to fix our streets. We need to fix our street lights. We need our tree canopy. That's all the time I have.
Bring this down. Hi, my name is Mia Arredondo. I work for Champions in Service, and I'm happy to be here today. I want to say I'm here today to ask for you not to cut the grid budget. As a community intervention worker for the past 25 years, I feel like community intervention work has been essential to public safety throughout the San Fernando Valley and Los Angeles in a whole. Interventionists are essential first responders to help the city respond to crisis intervention, and grid staff worked overtime to support fire recovery efforts, and they stepped up in providing life-saving support during the pandemic. Intervention workers respond to the host of crisis every day and keep our city safe. Please continue to fund grid services. Thank you.
Dear council members, my name is Mara Murrieta. I live in Van Nuys and work in the city of Residia. I also want to give a shout out to Bob Bloomfield. Back in the day, he used to be a representative. He was very supportive for therapeutic living centers for the blind, which we are now TLC living centers, learning and living centers. Just a little bit on that. Let's go. So I live in Van Nuys and work in the city of Reseda, which falls under the city council's district, represented by council members Nithya Raman, District 4, and Imelda Padilla, District 6. The Insight Safe program is very important to me, my family, and the community. Thanks to the Insight Safe team, my community has deeply benefited from the program. The encampment in my neighborhood was cleared as part of a large-scale Insight Safe operation. An estimated 50 people were housed. This has significantly improved the safety and well-being of our neighborhoods. This is why I'm asking the City Council to fully fund the Insight Safe. to continue this important work in our communities. We have seen that solving our homelessness crisis is possible because funding inside SAFE works. Thank you again for your time and consideration, and that's it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Lauren Paritra, and I live in CD 11. I'm here today with a message for my council member. Let's talk about what public safety actually means. Public safety is not firing rubber bullets at student organizers. It's not pouring millions into license plate readers, fueling mass surveillance and dangerous data misuse. And it's not about arresting people for being poor to appease a police union that's given you $500,000. This is not public safety, it's a conflict of interest. Councilmember Park, you continue to talk about our unhoused neighbors like they're a public nuisance. They're not the threat. These are our neighbors who have been failed by the very systems you continue to fund. And we know that crime doesn't come from moral failure. It comes from unmet needs. More police won't fix that. Investing in housing, youth development, and community empowerment will. Because when people have what they need to live dignified lives, crime goes down. For too long, LA City government has thrived on people not paying attention. But I'm here with my friends today, and we are. Please reject this budget and please reinvest in people. Housing and neighborhood empowerment, not police. Thank you.
Ready?
Whenever you're ready, if you could just remind us of the name you signed up under and go ahead.
Okay, my name is Jill. We are asking that you do not take funds away from our LA City shelters. They are underfunded and understaffed now as it is. West Valley Animal Shelter is the only city shelter that can house horses, goats, sheep, cows, chickens, and all other agricultural and livestock animals. Last year, this city council approved $500,000 for a consultant fee to approve $100 million for your bike path along the river without batting an eye. That's Council File 23-1208. But yet, you want to cut funding for the animal shelters and allow these homeless animals to continue to suffer, sit in cages, and be on the chopping block to be euthanized at the drop of a hat in closed shelters that are necessary for the community. Paying over $60 million for the shortfall for a bike path along from Van Alden to Balboa to do a bike path, which is not necessary when there's a bike path 350 feet away. You continue to make concerning decisions without talking to your constituents and listening to them, and this is how we got here.
I'm going to call some more names before you get started, all right? Amanda, Haley, Andres Perkins, Araceli Rodriguez, Avi Asher, Charles, Cindy Leone, Cynthia Martinez, and Danae Zaire.
Danae already spoke.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, council members. My name is Rubina Ghazarian. I'm a supervising transportation planner 2 with LADOT, a proud EAA member of over 10 years, and a lifelong Angelino who loves the city. So due to decades of poor policy, traffic crashes result in more deaths than homicides in the city of Los Angeles. Yet the short-sighted budget proposal cuts life-saving jobs in transportation. The return on investment for planning jobs is very high. My team distributes transportation subsidies called mobility wallets to over 2,000 residents, low-income residents in South LA. These are critical to helping people access jobs and services. My team has brought in over $450 million in transportation grants over the last 5 years. We're working on really critical projects to connect Angelinos to places they need to go and first last mile to transit. We reduce city liability by ensuring compliance with state laws and local ballot measures like Measure HLA. Even though LAPD officers are the leading cause of liability claims resulting in $222 million in liability this fiscal year, our jobs are on the line. As a city, we're still recovering from the recession in 2008. Please do not cut more city services. It will devastate our communities. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Thea Trindle. I'm an EAA union member and planner with LA City Planning. I love this city, and every day I'm proud to show up for Angelinos by advancing policies that promote access to housing in LA for all. Make no mistake, we help keep this city running, from not missing a beat to maintain construction services throughout COVID to accelerating our housing production pipeline. We step up every day to not only help the priorities of the mayor and city council come to fruition, but also to vouch for every Angelino's right to a safe, healthy, and vibrant city. This budget is nothing short of a decimation of our workforce. Austerity measures at the expense of preparing our city for the real impacts of climate change, planning resilient public infrastructure, and protecting Angelinos from noxious uses. This might be a balanced budget before you, but these drastic cuts to services will be felt by Angelinos for decades. I'm not just a box on an org chart. I'm a public servant whose livelihood is under attack. The people of LA deserve better. Reject these reckless cuts. Don't set us back. Help us keep LA moving forward. Refuse to let this be your legacy. Thank you.
Yes, go. And so I realize we have a lot of people who've joined a little bit late because it's been difficult to get in. Once you're up at the podium, please feel free to just give us the name you signed up under, and then you can start. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Yaretsi Velasquez, and I will be speaking on behalf of Raquel Hermosa. I am currently a student at CSUN and an intern proudly representing the Bernardi Multipurpose Senior Center. I am here today to be a voice for our seniors and to stand up for the services that help them live dignity, independence, and respect. Our seniors are the foundation of our communities. They have spent their lives working hard and raising families and contributing to our community. They deserve access to essential services such as nutritious meals, health care, social support, and safe housing. At Bernardi Center, I have seen firsthand how vital these programs are. Whether it's a hot meal or a wellness check or simply a space to connect with others, these resources make a difference in the lives of older adults. Cutting the funding, these services would not just harm individuals, but would harm the entire community. So today I stand with our seniors. I advocate for their right to age with dignity and to be cared for and to be respected. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. My name is Tiana Woodruff, and I am a social equity operator in Los Angeles CD 11. I am outraged by the $10 million from the city's general fund that's being used to bail out the Department of Cannabis Regulation after they misused the state grant funds meant to support the businesses like mine. The DCR has 53 employees, but still can't seem to respond to my emails, requests for grants, process grants, or even meeting licensing deadlines. Now they want to raise the cannabis industry fees by not 70%. We actually heard from Councilwoman today that it's 137% to increase their salaries. This is outrageous. We all know, be it what you may think of the cannabis industry, but during the pandemic, it was our industry that kept this city budget alive, people paying taxes. And when you aren't enforcing illegal shops, pot shops opening up across the street and around the corner, and customers are able to go buy $20 for an eighth and pay zero taxes, or come into my shop and pay $20 for an eighth plus 43% tax. It's unsustainable, and we need help in this industry. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Cynthia Martinez, and I'm here on behalf of Alliance for Community Empowerment in the San Fernando Valley and the Los Angeles Violence Intervention Coalition. Thank you, Councilmember Bob Blumenfield, for your support and advocacy in CD3, the West San Fernando Valley. I'm here today advocating that you don't cut the grid budget because I've seen firsthand what happens when our communities have trusted intervention workers and what happens when they don't. Grid-funded programs aren't just about reducing violence. These workers have been there when the city needed them most, stepping up during the COVID-19 pandemic and recent fires to help families survive and recover. Thanks to Grid, gang-related homicides dropped by 45% last year, and the victims of gang violence fell by nearly 50%. Interventionists are first responders without sirens, calming crisis, supporting victims, and saving lives, often while putting their own safety at risk. Cutting $2 million from the Grid budget would erase hard-earned progress just when our communities need more support, not less. For these reasons, I respectfully urge you to not cut the Grid budget. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Araceli Rodriguez, and I work at City 14 at Legacy LA, and I'm also the campaign lead for the Investing Youth Coalition. I'm here to advocate for the youth of Los Angeles and the Youth Development Department. I urge you not to support the mayor's proposal on consolidating the YDD. We advocated for a youth department in the first place because, as you all have been saying, too many youth resources and programs are spread out across the city.
The purpose of this youth development department was for youth ages 10 to 25 to have a one-stop shop. That was the whole purpose since the beginning. Every year, you all have failed in investing in the YDD and are about to fail it again by not giving it an opportunity to even flourish. That age group is always forgotten. I understand we are in a budget deficit, but that doesn't mean you need to get rid of the entire department. Don't balance the budget on the backs of our youth. You are all planning for a future while defunding the future. Save the YDD. I was one of the youth back in 2014 who started this campaign, and it breaks my heart that you are all thinking of throwing all of that hard work and 8+ years of advocacy to the trash. Politicians never take young people seriously. Listen to us. Save the YDD.
Good afternoon. My name is Amanda Haley. I'm part of the Invest in Youth Coalition. I'm here today because young people in Los Angeles deserve more, not less, in 2021. In 2021, after 8 years of advocacy, the Youth Development Department was created to provide focused, trauma-informed services for youth ages 10 to 25. The proposed consolidate of the Youth Development Department is not a small cut. It's a 40% reduction that would eliminate key programs like Youth Summit, Youth Expo, and Youth Ambassadors. The move undermines years of work and harms minority communities. Youth deserve their own department, not an office tucked away inside another agency. This may seem like a short-term fix, but it creates a long-term harm. Investing in youth now prevents higher costs later in public safety, education, and more. Keeping YDD independent benefits our city and shows real commitment to the future. We're asking the City Council to fully fund the Youth Development Department. If you say you support youth, now is the time to act. Thank you.
Hello. Okay. Hi, I'm Andres Perkins, a resident of Reseda in CD3. I want to share that this deficit and the proposed budget are absolutely embarrassing for the city, and I'm shocked with how united everyone is in their disappointment. But I'm also a bit inspired by how much passion people have for this topic. I am begging you all to do the right thing and reallocate funding from the highest paid department to other city departments, and to do everything else possible to lessen the impact on our city's employees and services that are already struggling to get by. Litigation costs should also be paid for using the budgets of the departments causing them, not the general fund. And I personally am asking you guys to spare LADOT, BSS, and city planning from these cuts. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Ramsey of Ramsey Security. I provide security for the gentleman, Joe Bradford, who was here earlier. And I am a profit. I mean, I don't I don't do security for free. So if you all, whatever you're doing to holding the money or whatever, I'm like missing over $150,000 in payments, and I can't continue to do this for free or provide the safety or the shelter that the people need. And I'm urging you guys, whatever you're doing, even though I love the work that I do, I can't do it for free. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am a CD1 resident, and I am with the Invest in Youth Coalition. I am here today because the mayor's budget is threatening to get rid of the Youth Development Department, and we need you to not let that happen. Young people should not have to suffer the consequences of adults' misuse of the city's budget. Every single council member in this room, including the mayor, has once said that young people are the future and that we need to invest in them. Well, now is the time that we need you to clock in and stand on business with what you said by creating a budget memo to save the Youth Development Department. For far too long, the city has tried to consolidate young people into different departments, and there is clear evidence that that has never worked. So why are we going backwards by doing that? You cannot let the Youth Development Department be defunded and turned into an office under the Children and Families Department. Youth deserve to be prioritized. We dedicated 10 long years to create this department, and if you take this away, you're jeopardizing the lives of over 800,000 youth.
Speaker, before you leave the podium, Speaker, can you, Can you just please remind us of the name you signed up under? Doesn't have to be your real name. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Before you get started, can I call a couple more names? Yolanda Delva Torre, Wendy Valencia, Vanessa, Terry Saucier, Susan Shahoda, Susie, Sophia DeFrance, Sylvia Losa, Stacy Weiss, Xiuming Cheer, and Sharon Ungersma.
Good afternoon, council members. Lionel Morris, speaking as an individual. I'm here to voice my opposition in the mayor's proposed budget. The mayor's proposed budget includes laying off 1,647 city workers that provide crucial, essential services to the city of Los Angeles. Non-sworn civilian employees are vital to the stability and economic stability of Los Angeles. We need to maintain those positions because if not, impoverished, underserved communities will suffer. And also neighborhood councils will face a 7K reduction from 32 to 25, which will have an impact in neighborhoods across the city of Los Angeles. Neighborhood councils have not got their budget reduced from 50K to 32, and this reduction will harm neighborhood councils. And I urge this council, these committee members, to protect civilian, non-sworn employees and to protect the neighborhood councils from being defunded. Please do the right thing. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stacy Weiss. I'm here representing myself as a Hollywood worker and citizen. I also separately represent other workers in Hollywood on the board of the Motion Picture Editors Guild, assistant editors, editors, and creatives who help power one of Los Angeles's most vital industries. I'm proud to be part of a city that's taking bold, compassionate steps to address homelessness, and I strongly support Mayor Karen Bass's Inside Safe bill. This initiative has already begun to move people off the streets and into interim housing, giving them a real chance at stability, recovery, and eventually permanent homes. There is a stubborn cycle of homelessness, particularly among creative workers, since the strikes, ongoing work loss, and disastrous wildfires that must be broken. As someone who works between studios, cutting rooms, and sets across LA, I've seen firsthand the difference this bill is making. Hollywood and Los Angeles thrive on stories of transformation. This city can be the setting for one of the most powerful transformations yet. Thank you kindly for listening.
Am I good? It's really appalling to see so many council members, so many, like 5, sitting on their phones while the public comes here. I've never been a part of a city that objectively the people cared so much about the city. It really is sad. There's so much money in the city. There's actually too much money in this city. That's the problem. There's so much money that y'all can't even make it disappear fast enough. That's fucking crazy. That's how much money is here. Y'all can't even put it in inappropriate places fast enough. That's how much money is here. And you're gonna cut all these positions, one of the few ways that someone in Los Angeles has a way to enter in the so-called middle class. Y'all gonna cut all these positions when these people just care about the city. They could work for any other kind of private institution, but they want to work for the city because they care about the city. I've never been a part of a city that cares so much about its city. Y'all are a fucking disgrace. Unitzis, get off your fucking phone and listen to the people.
Speaker, before you leave, which name did you sign up under?
Avi Archer. That's not my name.
Hi, my name is Terry Saucy. I'm a member of the Tarzana Neighborhood Council and a longtime Valley resident. I'm here to speak on my behalf to remind this committee that LA just experienced the worst fire disaster in its history. People lost their lives, more than 11,000 people lost their homes. Multiple fires threatened our communities across LA and LA County at the same time. One estimate puts the total economic loss at more than $250 billion. It's going to take years to recover. Climate impacts are going to get worse. If LA is going to thrive and be a livable city now and into the future, we must lead on climate action. Move away from gas and fossil fuels, invest in building electrification, biodiversity, healthy soils, and eliminate greenhouse gas emissions. This requires fully funding programs like SEMO and its commission, keeping BOE and general services staff who are developing a building decarbonization plan, and LA sanitation staff working on biodiversity protection and healthy soils. I strongly urge you to continue funding vital departments and initiatives to combat climate change. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Wendy Mazariegos. I'm part of Big Bernardi's Multipurpose Senior Center. I'm a case manager there. I'm here on my behalf more than anything to advocate for the seniors in LA because our budgets are being cut, and I can see it's not just our department, it is citywide. A lot of the services that we do have here do help a lot of our seniors, whether it's meals, whether it's transportation, whether it's healthcare. Some people might not seem that it's important, but we're all aging. None of us are getting younger, we're all getting older. And if we take away these programs, we limit their budgets, we limit what they can actually do and the services they can provide. It's gonna actually not benefit us, it's gonna affect us because I don't see anybody here going, yeah, let's fight for our seniors, yeah, let's think of our future. But our future is gonna be in the population of aging, which it is increasing. And if we don't do anything now and we don't fight for ourselves and we don't fight for our seniors, we don't fight for our families and our neighbors, who is gonna fight for us? And seniors are our future, whether we realize it or not.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sharon Ungersma, and I'm here as the chair of the San Fernando Valley chapter of the Climate Reality Project. I'm here to ask you not to cut funding from the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office and the city's other climate mitigation efforts. Now is not the time to step back from the investments that the city has been making in preparing us for the climate crisis. Angelinos know that the climate crisis isn't coming. It's already here. We see it in the dangerous heat waves in the valley, in the unprecedented storms and wildfires that have racked our city. And climate change processes are not slowing down, they're accelerating. Every dollar you take from climate mitigation now will cost this city hundreds more in the future, both in money and in lives lost. The time when we could put off investment in climate resilience for some point in the future is past. This is the climate emergency. Our city can't afford to cut climate mitigation efforts now and wait to see what happens.
Good afternoon. Thank you for listening to all of us. My name is Sylvia Yosa. I'm a resident of CD14, and I'm here as a parent advocating for the continued funding of Evergreen Child Care Center in Boyle Heights, run by the Department of Recreation and Parks. I'm aware of the dire fiscal situation the city is facing, and I do not presume to be an expert on budgeting, but I have 15 years of experience as an early childhood teacher and a school-age teacher. And is it with this critical lens that I can state with absolute conviction that Evergreen Childcare is an exemplary school nestled in the heart of our community, a community that faces many challenges. In the one block it takes to walk to our school, we're exposed to the poor air quality, stray cats and dogs, broken sidewalks, unfixed light posts, graffiti, other signs of gang activity. And yet the minute we walk into school, he's insulated and protected by the newly remodeled and air-conditioned classrooms, shady and green outdoor spaces, and small teacher-to-student ratios. This place is an oasis in the heart of our community. It is the ideal learning community for our youngest and our most vulnerable population. Please find alternative funding to continue our school. Thank you.
My name is Sophia DeFrance, and I'm a registered vet tech student at LA Pierce College. I'm also a shift lead for Angel City Pit Bulls Rescue. Budget cuts to LA Animal Services will result in more animals starving, spreading diseases, and dying in your constituents' neighborhoods. It will result in the closure of animal shelters and city workers getting laid off during this time of economic crisis. LA Animal Services needs a more effective budget, one which allows for actual enforcement of spay-neuter and breeding permit moratoriums, one which invests more in spay-neuter waivers and increases accessibility to these crucial services. LA Animal Services, LA Animal Shelters are already overburdened, overcrowded, understaffed, and dependent on the free labor of passionate volunteers. Mayor Bass's proposed budget will make a bad situation much, much worse. During this meeting, you have heard from advocates for animals, seniors, unhoused people, immigrants, essential union workers, and more of our most vulnerable residents. Who is this city for? What are you trying to fund? Please reconsider this egregious, egregious budget proposal. Thank you.
And before you speak, I'm going to call some more names, if that's okay. Sarahi Flores, Robert Goodman, Richard Serrano, Fatima Komolamit, Olga Taza, Pamela Lee, Norma Chavez, Mike Browning, Martha Tobo, Maria Elena, Maria De Barrio, Maria Acevedo, Maria Barahona. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Okay, hi, my name is Gail Raff, and I'm actually a person who is speaking now who came in with people who spoke almost an hour and a half ago, and my name wasn't called. I feel like I'm downtown. Today I want to address the pressing issue that affects not only our beloved pets, but also the reputation of our city. We must talk about spay and neuter funding. Without adequate support for these programs, we face an overwhelming surge in animal population, leading to more dogs and cats roaming the streets and tragically being killed, and possibly not even being picked up by the street service, because I'm sure you're eliminating them too. Imagine Los Angeles during the Olympics. Do we want to be known as a city overrun by stray animals, or worse, a city where countless animals suffer and die on our streets? Most cities take pride, but not LA. I can't understand why you want to abuse and misuse our tax dollars.
Good afternoon, I'm Sarai Flores from Esperanza Immigrants' Rights Project, a nonprofit under Catholic Charities. The Trump administration has impacted our mission of serving vulnerable populations by terminating programs that serve immigrants. Today, I urge you to fund Represent LA. As part of Esperanza's legal orientation programs, I can attest to the power of community education. Last year, I witnessed one of our participants win asylum. Asylum was granted to a woman who fled Guatemala due to horrific domestic violence. Our program helped her prepare her application and provided guidance on what to expect at the final hearing. Our legal orientation programs empower immigrants as they defend themselves in court. Despite the termination of our programs by the federal government, our dedication to serve immigrants is unwavering. Rep LA allows us to withstand Trump's attacks, and I urge you to add $4 million to the budget to support this crucial work. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vladimir Gallegos. I am a member of EAA. I'm a supervising transportation planner at LA DOT in the group called the Commercial Rideshare Mobility Group. We're a group that looks at how we make money for the city. We do permitting, and we think about technology, to help make the city great. There are companies that are investing billions of dollars with their vehicles of the highest new technology of AI and autonomous vehicles moving through our space that see the value of our city, who are trying to basically make profit. We city workers, us civil servants, who actually think about this stuff, we actually think about how to do this holistically. We should be critical of how we think about automation and AI and technology integration in this department. And you should understand that we need data analysts, we need GIS specialists, we need planners, we need people to think about this critically, and we do that already.
Whew, quite a Friday, council members. Thank you for having me. My name is Fatima Komalamet, and I'm with Center for the Pacific Asian Family, which is part of a robust and committed network of victim service providers who have been providing safe, life-saving shelter and comprehensive services to domestic violence, sexual assault, and trafficking survivors across all of your respective council districts. I am here today, ironically, on the month that honors sexual assault awareness and survivors, to request and urge this council to remain committed to supporting our victim service providers by approving Community Investment for Families Department's request for $3.8 million in general funds to fill the shortfall and support the Survivor Services Program in FY 25-26. Please know that all of our collective organizations are counting on the city and on each of you as our leaders to stand by us and provide us with the funding we need in order to continue preventing homelessness for survivors. We are in uncharted, terrifying waters with this current federal government administration and their campaign to traumatize, terrorize, and destroy nonprofits that are helping the most vulnerable, marginalized communities is underway right as I stand here now. Now is not the time to reduce our funding, especially when many of us will be losing millions of dollars in federal funding. Thank you.
afternoon, council members. My name is Pamela Lee. I am a EAA member, and also I lead the Vision Zero and Vision Zero team at LADOT. I'm also the lead planner for preparing for the 2028 games. And my team really focuses on projects in the public right-of-way to improve the safety outcomes along streets where there are the highest number of injuries and deaths due to traffic violence. The elimination of the positions in the proposed budget will slow our progress down a lot. Our Vision Zero program needs to build those safer streets. These layoffs, especially in LADOT and Public Works, support our program, and it will make us do the exact opposite of what we want to do, which is to work very quickly and save lives. Every day we don't put a project out, it means it's a risk to a life who's just trying to walk down the street safely. The 2028 games, I think, also will be at jeopardy, that we won't have the support of what we've already made progress to do, and I really hope that you preserve the positions and really support our EAA members and engineers and planners. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lauren Ballard. I'm a supervising transportation planner at LADOT and an EAA union member. I lead the active transportation planning team at LADOT, which plans and builds mobility plan projects. The proposed cuts to my team, LADOT as a whole, and our sister agencies at BSS and BOE will inhibit the city's ability to maintain and improve its streets and comply with the voter-approved Measure HLA. With reduced staff, projects subject to HLA, from street resurfacing to long-awaited capital projects, will be delayed. Or the city will forego required elements and be immediately subject to litigation, further draining the city's budget. My team is also tasked with planning projects under the city's 3% first last mile commitment and over $180 million that we're on the hook for to Metro. These cuts will result in continued unsafe streets, liabilities, and will hold us back from being the city we know we can be. Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Maria Barahona, Chief Program Officer at Haven Hills, a domestic violence service provider in CD3. I am here today in support of survivors of domestic violence, human trafficking, and sexual assault who are also experiencing homelessness because of gender-based violence. I implore this committee to reconsider budget cuts to CIFD's Survivor Services Program, which supports these populations. The proposed $3.8 million reduction will severely impact providers and the survivors we serve. These cuts will lead to fewer beds and services and push more survivors and their families into homelessness. We are critical to preventing homelessness. We not only provide emergency housing, but we also provide life-changing services, often ending cycles of abuse, poverty, and insecurity. We provide second chances and empower survivors to create new beginnings. I urge the City Council to prioritize survivors in this budget and fully fund CIFD with their request for $12.4 million in general funds to support the Survivor Services Program. Thank you.
I'm going to call a few more names before you get started. Let's see. Dale Diamond, Eddie Licon, Edgar Molina, Eric Ramsey, Erica Fiorenza, Estuardo Mazariegos, Gail Raff, Jesus Herrera, Jesus Padilla, and Joaquina. Thank you. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. I'm Leticia, the Executive Director of Vic's Bernardi Senior Center, 3 blocks from here. I'm here to advocate on behalf of the seniors in the community. The proposed cut of the Department of Aging and Absorption under CIFD is concerning because it removes focus from the largest growing population with the most need. Additionally, CIFD is also experiencing cuts. Many seniors rely on vital senior services to get their next meal, to get transportation, case management, also to prevent isolation and other chronic disease management. Without a dedicated department, the seniors of the community will be gravely impacted. Access to senior resources for seniors 60 plus should remain a priority with its own department dedicated to service. Thank you.
Dale Diamond. This budget exists to deflect from criticism. Bold decisions made after an emergency are usually the wrong ones. The fires have been devastating. This budget cuts everything but public safety while hoarding an emergency fund nearly triple the mandated reserve. Anyone who wants to know how and why unpopular policies are taken off the shelf and ready to go should familiarize themselves with the shock doctrine by Naomi Klein. In the wake of disaster, when the public looks for strong leadership, essential services get cut and the powerful get whatever they please. This budget is sold as a back-to-basics reset, but it relies on trusting city agencies are not gaming performance metrics. I can speak from personal experience. The lasting results are minimized to generate the appearance of work. Metrics like average number of days to close out a service request leads to sanitation tickets rejected on spurious grounds. Rental units restored to safe living conditions leads approval of cosmetic repairs to fundamental problems. LAPD, the largest budget item, is gamed the most. And this maladministration is how our civic institutions appear to be more impactful than ever, while our city fails to deliver on its goals.
Good afternoon. My name is Erica Fiorenza, and I'm here to oppose Mayor Bass' proposed budget. Let's be clear, this budget does not reflect the values of a city that claims to care for its people. It proposes thousands of layoffs of working city employees, departments permanently slashed, and the elimination and consolidation of departments that serve our youth, our elders, and our unemployed. Youth department, aging, and economic workforce. This is a gutting of public services. Meanwhile, let's talk about how we got here. City liability payouts this year have tripled to over $300 million. Historically, the city has averaged $100 million per year in these payouts and only budgeted for $87 million. $500 million in total settlements, half of that from lawsuits against the LAPD. Nearly 50% of those LAPD-related cases involved allegations of excess force. And yet, this proposed budget gives the LAPD a budget increase. It's outrageous to propose mass layoffs, cut critical services, and consolidate departments while rewarding the single department responsible for draining the city's finance. This budget is not final. You have the power to amend it. Thank you.
My name is Katie Carrero, and I'm a resident of North Hollywood. I'm here today to speak for the animals in our city as a volunteer at East Valley Animal Shelter. The mayor's proposed cuts equate to nearly 1/3 of the Animal Services Department and would be devastating, putting animals, staff, volunteers, and the public at severe risk. Closing shelters and condensing resources is not the answer. Overcrowded shelters lead to fear, stress, and poor care, and they increase the chance of accidents and liability claims. Last year, a shelter employee with 25 years of service was brutally mauled. The dog hadn't been out of its kennel in 30 days. No one was nearby to hear her screams. That tragedy was preventable, and it shows why staffing is crucial. LA Animal Services processed over 31,000 animals in the first 9 months of last year. And with dog bites up 50% nationally, according to the CDC, we cannot afford to cut services. My time volunteering, I've seen real progress, but it's fragile. These cuts would undo everything. Thank you for your patience today.
Thank you. I'm going to just call a few more names. Kay Mohan, Kathy Schreiner, Kim M., LeByron, Laura Harwood, Laura Lull, Lynetta Ramirez, Victor Del Rosario, Wade Young, Yesenia Medina. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Sure.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kelly Holland. I'm the Executive Director at the Animal Rescue Alliance, and I'm amazingly not here to discuss the budget and your cuts. I'm here to discuss an opportunity for you to add money to the Animal Services budget, not to the general fund. 60% or over, plus 60% of veterinary clinics in LA are owned by venture capital that is located outside of Los Angeles and California. Mars Corporation is in West Virginia. They're located on Wall Street. They're located in Berlin. There's no reason why you cannot add an impact fee to the business licenses of these massive venture capital groups that are profiting off of veterinary care. The cost of vet care in the city has gone up by 200%, and that is why the shelter is under so much stress, is because people can't afford veterinary care for their own animals and they get turned into the shelter. You can have the people that have created the problem solve the problem. I have a plan if anybody wants to see it.
Lane Semper, I'm here to speak on behalf of the animals because they don't have a voice.
I don't have a prepared speech, but let's just remember in 2019, President Donald Trump made animal abuse a federal crime. Let me say that again. In 2019, President Donald Trump made animal abuse a federal crime, and defunding animal shelters is abuse. That's it. Thank you.
Anybody else who has not yet spoken who would like to speak, please come up to the podium. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. All right. Okay. We're going to put a pause on public comment for today. Thank you to all who came to give testimony. It looks like we've basically cleared the room. Thank you, colleagues, for staying till the very end. We're going to resume public comment in this meeting on Monday, April 28th at 4 p.m. in City Hall in the John Ferraro Council Chambers. We're also going to hear presentations on Monday from our civilian labor partners and Neighborhood Council budget advocacy. So thank you. We are now in recess.